In this world, people cultivate for hours a day. I just want to slack off for days a month, yet, my cultivation base has already reached the peak. No matter who it is, they can't resist a single strike from me. Even though I possess the power to supervise gods, I'm still seen as a good-for-nothing by my fellow disciples, simply because I've never shown off my cultivation in front of others. Because the greater the power, the greater the responsibility. Due to the high-intensity work schedule in my previous life, I died in front of my computer. God took pity on me and gave me a second chance. In this life, I, Hua Qingyuan, am an ordinary, true disciple of the Azure Cloud sect. My life goal is to live a peaceful and stable life without any cultivation. But things didn't go as planned. My sect is also very competitive. Today, as usual, Hua Qingyuan was slacking off under a tree. An ordinary disciple, while complaining, greeted, "Senior brother Hua, the sect master is looking for you at the main hall, asking about the details of yesterday's mission." The battle-savvy Hua Qingyuan, in order to avoid work, would always let his disciples take care of his tasks. In every world, he wins. The greater the ability, the more tasks there are. This is a cultivation world. There are realms, namely, spirit transformation, soul gathering, merit listening, enlightenment, and transcendence. Each realm has 9 levels, and this one is even more important. Hua Qingyuan met the sect master, a transcendence realm 6th level expert, nicknamed Qingyun Fitness. However, no one knows that the dignified Qingyun Fitness is a tea enthusiast. Hua Qingyuan used the succulent cultivation techniques from his past life and combined them with current technology to cultivate tea. Intuitively, he felt this would impress his boss. After all, pleasing the boss is a required skill for every worker. With that, Hua Qingyuan took out the tea leaves he obtained from killing the demon cloud python 2 days ago. The sect master's eyes immediately became serious. Blood burst. He was about to tell Hua Qingyuan the demon cloud python's purpose, but Hua Qingyuan immediately refused. "I don't want to hear it, I don't want to know anything." Hearing it would mean overtime work. Hua Qingyuan ran away, but was still caught by the sect master's soul power. After a fierce scolding, the sect master informed Hua Qingyuan that because of the incident with the sect formation last time, the 4 hall masters requested to revoke his true disciple status. Hearing this, Hua Qingyuan instantly sobered up. If he really became an inner disciple, who would dare to let him slack off? The spirit of slacking was already burning. Hua Qingyuan directly asked when they would revoke his true disciple status. The sect master looked at Hua Qingyuan's attitude, fuming and about to explode. At this moment, a heavenly voice echoed in the main hall, "Greetings, sect master and senior brother Hua." The sudden visitor was Yu Jianxin, the chief disciple of the Azure Cloud sect. At a young age, he had already reached the Void Transformation Realm 2nd level and was regarded by the entire sect as the future hope. On the other hand, Hua Qingyuan was ranked last among the true disciples. Every month, when new tasks were assigned, he would always lose to the inner disciples. Yu Jianxin was determined to go against the current and become a true disciple as soon as possible. But this senior brother liked to do a degree flip downhill. Then, Hua Qingyuan found an excuse for himself, saying that he was stuck at merit listening 1st level, so he needed to go back and rebuild his foundation from the beginning to break through the bottleneck. Yu Jianxin showed an admiring look. He didn't think that senior brother Hua was so diligent, completely different from the rumors. Yu Jianxin was truly impressed. "Ah, you're too kind." The sect master was pleased to see Yu Jianxin. The reason he called Yu Jianxin this time was because the hall masters had a request for Hua Qingyuan to have him and Yu Jianxin carry out a mission together, to learn from the chief disciple's diligence and virtuous conduct. At this time, Hua Qingyuan's face darkened. Yu Jianxin was the king of hard work in the sect, single-handedly driving everyone to work harder. He was a natural slacker, clearly incompatible with him. How could they go on a mission together? So, he used the excuse of having to take care of his tea leaves to refuse. But Yu Jianxin's eyes lit up, wanting to support each other and work together. He even planned to use this mission to prove himself and break the outside rumors. A creature full of fighting spirit was now running freely in Hua Qingyuan's heart. Good heavens, he wants to CPU me into working too. Hua Qingyuan wasn't easily fooled, directly using the tea leaves excuse again. But the sect master was also determined to prevent Hua Qingyuan from slacking off again. He offered a benefit. As long as Hua Qingyuan completed this mission, he could have 3 days off. Hearing this, Hua Qingyuan almost jumped up. Completing the mission meant 3 days of slacking off. He had to take this mission. Even Jesus couldn't stop him. As the chief disciple of the Azure Cloud sect, Yu Jianqin arrived at the sect's mission hall early. He had already memorized the 50 missions posted, understanding them thoroughly. And our slacker king had just woken up and arrived late. Isn't this too much work? Yu Jianqin was filled with admiration for Hua Qingyuan, who was already half an hour late. He secretly thought that this senior brother was too relaxed. Hua Qingyuan didn't think so. As a worker, he should enjoy his rest. Why work so hard? Alright, no more sleep talk. It'll definitely double my rest later. Yu Jianqin sighed helplessly. Time is running out, let's go. But Hua Qingyuan and Yu Jianqin were both startled. The recent villager disappearances were likely related to the demon cloud python. When Hua Qingyuan heard Yu Jianqin say he wanted to protect low-level cultivators, he realized that hiding his cultivation level would be beneficial. Not only would he appear heroic, but he would also get 3 days off. This time, he was winning for sure. Soon, the two arrived at the village in the Tianyun mountain range. Just as Yu Jianqin was about to speak, something happened. While discussing splitting up to gather information from the villagers, Hua Qingyuan rummaged through his pockets, pulled out a pocket watch, and checked the time. 5 o'clock. Time to clock out, junior sister. In taking a break. The mission's all yours. Before Yu Jianqin could react, Hua Qingyuan had already run far off. Inside the village's inn, the innkeeper offered Qingyun a room. Looking at the innkeeper's arm, Qingyun instantly sensed something fishy. But he didn't care. It was his break time. Hua Qingyuan considered playing a small trick, but decided against it. He believed with his current cultivation level, it wouldn't be a big deal, and went straight to sleep. However, he hadn't slept long when a commotion outside his door woke him. Hua Qingyuan got up, stepped out of the room, and saw Yu Jianqin arguing with the innkeeper. The innkeeper claimed the inn was full and refused to give Yu Jianqin a room. Hua Qingyuan offered to share his room with her. But when Yu Jianqin heard this, her face flushed crimson. She immediately started sputtering, "Unless you want to sleep with senior sister." Hua Qingyuan poured a basin of cold water over her. Yu Jianxin's blush subsided. After all, Hua Qingyuan wouldn't dare try anything funny. She could easily beat him. He was, as her senior brother, just an oblivious simpleton. Back in the room, Hua Qingyuan ignored her flushed face, and ate his snacks, asking, "Have you eaten dinner?" Hearing this, Yu Jianqin immediately perked up, starting to lecture, "We cultivators shouldn't indulge in such mundane pleasures like food." Before she could finish, a pastry stopped her incessant chatter. Yu Jianqin, with her stomach rumbling, promptly ate the pastry. The pastry's flavor instantly overwhelmed her senses. Sweet but not cloying, it melted in her mouth, leaving a refreshing, clear aftertaste. She was completely captivated by the pastry. Hua Qingyuan, ignoring his junior sister's reaction, started his nightly cultivation routine, absorbing the surrounding spiritual energy. The cool night air and spiritual energy mingled, circulating within his body. After finishing his cultivation, Hua Qingyuan stated, "Cultivation is about being natural and unrestrained." He had barely finished when he saw the dazed Yu Jianqin. He thought she was still lost in thought. Suddenly, Yu Jianqin exclaimed, "Senior brother is hoarding snacks." Without a word, she reached into the bag. Seeing his pastries disappear at an alarming rate, Hua Qingyuan immediately grabbed the bag, yelling, "My pastries!" Amidst the squabble, Hua Qingyuan ended up lying on the bed, face full of annoyance. The embarrassed Yu Jianqin sat cross-legged, starting her own cultivation. The previously noisy room gradually quieted down. As time passed, a faint rustling sound approached the room. A strange mist slowly filled their room. Before long, the seasoned wanderer, Yu Jianqin, sensed something. Amidst the haze, her biggest concern was still her seemingly weak senior brother. "Senior brother, run!" she cried. Little did she know, her senior brother, Hua Qingyuan, was a hidden expert from a powerful sect. This minor skirmish was nothing to him. The scene shifted to a few miles outside the village. The innkeeper faced his opponent. It's Double West Noble Emperor. Reporting, "Sir, Yu Jianqin and the other one have been subdued by my mesmerizing powder." The man was overjoyed upon hearing Yu Jianxing's name. As for Hua Qingyuan, had never heard of him, likely a nobody. Right on cue. The man, the culprit behind the villagers' disappearances, was struck down in an instant. Excellent work, innkeeper. Then, gesturing to his subordinates, numbers and, bring Yu Jianqing and the other one back. As for Hua Qingyuan, meanwhile, Yu Jianqing fluttered her eyes open. Her first instinct upon waking was to grab Hua Qingyuan and run. Hua Qingyuan looked at his panicking junior sister with exasperation. Yu Jianqing, now fully alert, wondered why Hua Qingyuan, with his lower cultivation, was unaffected. With Hua Qingyuan's level, the spirit-severing incense should have. He had sensed something amiss with the innkeeper upon arrival and had feigned weakness. Then, he pretended to be asleep and thus unaffected by the incense. He patted Yu Jianxing's head reassuringly. The spirit-severing incense primarily affected those with higher cultivation. Now, Hua Qingyuan transformed into a seasoned traveler, giving Yu Jianqing a lesson on travel safety. Watching him lecture her with his back turned, Yu Jianqing found him incredibly reliable. Completely unlike the rumored lazy true disciple, Prime Minister's highest fingers modifying influence on Zifu Jingyu Chong. At this moment, Hua Qingyuan directly transformed into an old fried dough stick, and North Vietnam built a new society. After Yan Xuanqing taught him some things to pay attention to when traveling on a business trip, he looked at Hua Qingyuan who was shouting with his back turned to him. Hua Qingyuan was extremely dark in Yu Jian's heart at this moment. He was not at all the true successor of Lan Sanchangxing as rumored. Not only did he quickly discover the hidden door, but he also remained vigilant, considerate, reliable, if only his cultivation were higher. Yu Jianqing blushed. What am I even thinking? I haven't fully recovered yet. Hua Qingyuan interrupted her thoughts. Though she claimed to be fine, Yu Jianqing fidgeted nervously. Before they could continue, a streak of light flew towards their room, a killing intent. Yu Jianqing drew her sword, shielding Hua Qingyuan. Brother, be careful. However, our protagonist, Hua Qingyuan, simply rolled over in bed. Since you've recovered, it's your turn. It's my nap time now. Yu Jianqing watched in disbelief as Hua Qingyuan burrowed deeper under the covers before flying out the window. Her brother was only at the spirit-gathering stage. Cannon fodder against this opponent. With a determined glint in her eyes, Yu Jianqing unleashed her full power. Two figures were instantly struck down. An angry woman is truly terrifying, especially a goddess of the Azure Cloud sect. So, brothers, never anger a goddess. If you must grovel, grovel to the death. Looking at the two on the ground, Yu Jianqing recognized them as true disciples of the Spirit Ascending sect. But their eyes were vacant. They were blood puppets. This was connected to the demonic Cloud sect. Before she could react, a bolt of crimson lightning shot towards her. At the moment of impact, a ring of violent energy erupted around Yu Jianqing, blocking the attack. A vibrant electric aura surrounded her. Blood cloud severing moon. A ferocious sword energy exploded outwards, slashing the two figures down. Yu Jianqing assumed Shed defeated them. Unbeknownst to her, her good brother had observed the entire fight with his divine sense. Observing with divine sense was truly convenient, no need to even open his eyes. Since I can't sense their killing intent. The woman looked at the injured man. They must have lost their self-awareness in their rage. See, brothers, if you're handsome enough, women will love you even in their sleep. A furious woman is terrifying. Even I almost couldn't handle her. The two were completely overwhelmed. Zifu, a quadruple courtyard, emanated a palpable aura of dread. Within its confines, Ziying and Zibu, bound by an unseen force, floated amidst the eerie silence. Across the sea, at the newly built port, Yu Jianqing sensed this disturbance. Disregarding any formalities, Ziying and Zibu immediately engaged in combat. Seeing this, Yu Jianxin's heart sank, as a blue electrical aura enveloped the pair. The building shimmered briefly. Hua Qingyun calmly observed, his brow furrowed slightly, sensing the strange fluctuation of spiritual energy but unable to pinpoint the source of danger. Here, he said as a green leaf landed on his palm. This should suffice. Meanwhile, a wild, surging power emanated from Yu Jianqing. This formidable force surged from within, converging at his shoulders, radiating a fierce and untamed aura. Hua Qingyuan, with a swift, decisive movement, unleashed a violent, colossal energy wave. The wave engulfed Ziying and Zibu. As Yu Jianqing landed gently, he pondered whether the situation had changed. However, he failed to notice the figure behind him. A terrifying energy surge hurtled towards the back of his head. He realized his peril at the last moment. Just as the attack was about to connect, a green flash intercepted and deflected it. Feeling the terrifying energy explode behind him, Yu Jianqin shuddered, realizing the devastating consequences had he been struck. But what was that green light? Who saved me? Yu Jianqin wondered, looking towards Hua Qingyuan. Your junior sister, Hua Qingyuan said, feigning a stretch. It seems you've handled the situation. Senior brother Hua. Yu Jianqin started to inquire, but Hua Qingyuan interrupted him. I've been resting. Nothing's wrong. Yu Jianqin was taken aback. His senior brother was only at the 6th level of spirit refinement. This was inconceivable. Their attention then shifted to the two figures lying on the ground. Yu Jianqin suggested returning to the sect. He wanted the elders to examine Ziying and Zibu, cleanse them of any demonic influence, and investigate. However, he worried about leaving them unattended. What if the demonic sect members return? He asked. Or other enemies? Hearing this, Hua Qingyuan sighed internally. For the sake of his 3-day holiday, it seemed he had to intervene. He watched as Yu Jianqin approached the Ziyun disciples. What is senior brother doing? Yu Jianqin wondered as Hua Qingyuan used his divine sense to memorize their features and dispel the blood specter seed. Yu Jianqin worried that even the slightest mistake could leave the two in a vegetative state. Don't worry, Hua Qingyuan reassured him. Wait, senior brother. You intend to extract both blood specter seeds simultaneously. Hua Qingyuan, with an air of confidence, replied, 2 birds, 1 stone. With a subtle gesture, Hua Qingyuan extracted both seeds. The two Ziyun disciples awoke. Realizing they had been saved by Qingyun sect disciples, they expressed their gratitude. Han Xian of Ziyun sect then recalled their mission. A week prior, they had been tasked with investigating the disappearance of villagers. They tracked the disappearances to a small village and discovered a demonic sect elder using the villagers' blood in a sacrificial ritual. They attacked but fell into a trap, becoming puppets under the elder's control. Today, they were freed by Hua Qingyuan, and their gratitude was immense. Yu Jianqin, however, was stunned by Hua Qingyan's skill. Extracting a blood specter seed was incredibly difficult, akin to finding a needle in a haystack, even for sect elders. Hua Qingyuan made it seem effortless. When did you learn this technique? Yu Jianqin asked, bewildered. Hua Qingyuan, wanting to conceal his true cultivation level, offered a vague excuse. His first order of business then was to request payment. Yu Jianqin was indignant. It was a simple flick of the wrist, not some grand technique requiring rare treasures. However, her indignation quickly turned to avarice when they offered not only to pay but also to promote Hua Qingyuan's services within their sect. She babbled excitedly. Removing a blood specter seed requires at least spirit stones, Yu Jianqin stated. Hua Qingyuan inwardly chuckled. He casually mentioned, and they readily agreed. He then asked about the demonic elder who captured them. His name is Mo Xian, they replied. His combat strength is average, but his demonic techniques in poison are formidable. Hua Qingyuan smiled. I have just the thing, he said, producing an antidote that granted immunity to poison for 3 hours. He asked if they felt confident in capturing Mo Xian with this antidote. The Ziyun disciples' eyes lit up. With this, we can take him down in 5 minutes. One exclaimed. Before realizing Hua Qingyuan wasn't joining them, Hua Qingyuan claimed he was too exhausted and needed to rest. The Ziyun disciples apologized profusely. Yu Jianqin, realizing her senior brother simply didn't want to work, fumed internally as she set off with the 2 disciples to find Mo Xian. Ziyun eyed the antidote. Is it really as effective as senior brother Hua claims? He wondered. Yu Jianqin, as Hua Qingyan's junior sister, had unwavering faith. No turning back now, she declared. The 3 swallowed the antidote. Any ideas on how to find Mo Xian? Yu Jianqin asked. Suddenly, a strong wind blew. Dark clouds obscured the moon, and Yu Jianqin sensed something amiss. However, it was too late. They had entered Mo Xian's domain. In an instant, dozens of energy blades shattered the surrounding area, trapping them. They found themselves bound by shadowy tendrils. Mo Xian then revealed himself. He observed the trio, deducing that Yu Jianqin possessed a treasure that had neutralized his blood specter seed. However, he noticed one person missing, assuming Hua Qingyuan was too afraid to appear. Seeing Mo Xian's smug expression, Ziyun attacked with a giant club, but missed, comically tumbling. As the dust settled, Mo Xian launched a counterattack, proving the adage, villains die from talking too much. At that moment, Zi Lingzong's disciple launched a surprise attack. Xian, not to be outdone, blocked the attack effortlessly. Foolish righteous disciples, he scoffed, falling for his trap. He remained oblivious to Yu Jiangxin's impending attack. A blinding sword light flashed, and although Xian confidently attempted to block it with one hand, the radiant sword energy tore through the earth. Yu Jianqin realized she hadn't hit him. As the falling leaves dissipated, she discovered she was poisoned. Xian reappeared, mocking them and gloating. However, the expected effect of his poison didn't materialize, and he noticed someone was still missing. Ziyun suddenly reappeared behind him, landing a solid blow with his club, sending Xian sprawling. Zi Lingzong's disciple followed up with a relentless barrage of attacks. Emerging from the rubble, Xian assessed his injuries and questioned why they weren't affected by the poison. The three ignored him. Ziyun stuck out his tongue mockingly, but inwardly, he was impressed by Hua Qingyuan's antidote, realizing its potential value against poison users. Seeing their silence, Xian assumed his unique poison, more potent than even Duan Lingxiang's, was working. Even if they had an antidote, it couldn't dispel his toxin completely. They must have a powerful treasure. Yu Jianqin, however, wasn't about to play games. She unleashed a powerful Qingyun Sect technique, intending to end the fight. But she forgot Xian's preferred tactic was summoning. Close combat was merely a hobby. He soared into the sky. Let's end this tomorrow with the blood refinement array. A crimson light erupted from the ground, trapping the trio. Before they could react, Xian summoned a level 6 specter. The specter materialized behind them. Seeing Xian's trump card, the trio's initial joy turned to despair. Their highest cultivation was only at the 4th level, but it didn't end there. Xian summoned a second, level 5 specter to eliminate Hua Qingyuan. Yu Jiangxin's expression darkened. Little did she know, Hua Qingyuan wasn't the pushover she imagined, but a true force to be reckoned with. Spectre number 2 arrived at Hua Qingyuan's room, ready to attack, only to find it empty. Hua Qingyuan, observing everything through his divine sense, had already moved next door. However, his brief respite was interrupted. He found himself face-to-face with the awakened Spectre number 2. Hua Qingyuan, with a chilling expression, placed his right hand on the Spectre's forehead. Can't you go home if you can't find someone? Must you drag others into this? He asked coldly. Meanwhile, trapped within the array, the trio struggled. Yu Jianqin realized they couldn't win against the Spectre's regenerative abilities. Ziyun had a technique to destroy it, but it required a long charging time. The remaining time fell to Yu Jianqin. Despite her slender frame, Yu Jianqin bravely faced the Spectre. Xian watched confidently, anticipating his second Spectre's return. He had no idea that Spectre number 2 had been defeated by Hua Qingyuan in a single blow. If Hua Qingyuan hadn't been holding back, he would have obliterated it completely, but he wanted to sleep, so he decided to give his neighbor a gift. Spectre number 2 plummeted to earth like a meteor. Seeing that it wasn't even am yet, Hua Qingyuan decided to find another room to continue his sleep. Meanwhile, Yu Jianqin barely managed to block the Spectre's powerful attack. Hope dwindled as the Spectre pressed its advantage. Seeing Yu Jianqin faltering, Xian lost interest and ordered the Spectre to finish her. Yu Jianqin despaired as the Spectre charged. But suddenly, a crimson light flashed from Xian, piercing the array. The Spectre charging towards Yu Jianqin was struck and crashed into the earth. As the dust settled, both sides stared in disbelief. Xian was shocked. He then realized it must be a Qingyun Sect elder. Xian still has another trick up his sleeve, he thought to himself. The shattered remains of the Spectre began to coalesce, reforming and charging towards Yu Jianqin. Just as the Spectre was about to strike, Ziyun's attack finally charged. Purple lightning crackled around him as he unleashed his attack. The attack collided with the Spectre, resulting in a violent explosion. While they battled, Hua Qingyuan was enjoying a story from Zhuangzhou, basking in the morning sun. He opened his eyes to what he thought would be a peaceful day, only to see his junior sister struggling against a demonic sect elder. It seemed even the enhanced version of his antidote wasn't enough. He checked his pocket watch. Time to work, he sighed. Back on the battlefield, the earth was ravaged, and a massive crater had formed. Ziyun surveyed the mangled remains of the Spectre. He had one, but the attack had depleted all his spiritual energy. Even Yu Jianqin was impressed by the sheer power. As the trio rejoiced, a furious roar echoed from the sky above the former courthouse. It was Xian's. He had spent decades cultivating this technique. Since the two from Ziyun sect were exhausted, it was his turn. He channeled his star spirit power, unleashing countless bolts of purple lightning towards the enraged Mo Xian. But Mo Xian's deadly attack was also about to strike Yu Jianqin. His eyes glowed with determination as he activated his ultimate skill. The myriad illusions of his sword hands vanished, leaving only two golden eyes radiating a chilling killing intent. Mo Xian was closing in. He wanted to see if Yu Jianqin could still defend himself. He didn't realize that Yu Jiangxin's previous attack hadn't targeted him but the Grand Formation, creating a breach. This freed Yu Jianqin from the formation's suppression. But Mo Xian was now consumed by madness. Burning his lifespan to activate a forbidden technique, his body rapidly aged. A miniature formation condensed within his withered palm. Yu Jianqin rushed forward to intercept, but it was too late. A blood spike pierced his back, sealing his spiritual energy channels. Meanwhile, the two from Qingyun sect were once again under Mo Xian's control. He wanted Yu Jianqin to pay the price, to become the first sacrifice of his forbidden art. I will fill your body with despair. Mo Xian declared. Yu Jianqin felt only despair, ignoring Mo Xian's taunts. He stumbled repeatedly, trapped within the formation. Just as he gave up hope, a voice echoed, "Release my junior brother." It was Hua Qingyuan, but Yu Jianqin wasn't relieved. With his senior brother's cultivation level, wasn't he just coming to die? Mo Xian laughed at Hua Qingyuan's appearance. A mere golden core cultivator dares to interfere. He mocked, expecting Hua Qingyuan to be crushed by the difference in their realms. But Hua Qingyuan simply replied with an indifferent voice, "Break." The formation around Mo Xian shattered instantly. An unfathomable power radiated from his calm eyes. As the formation crumbled, the Qingyun sect disciples regained their senses. Immediately, they unleashed a barrage of 5 lightning bolts, aiming directly at Mo Xian. Mo Xian, stunned, spun his small iron rod defensively. He planned to bury Yu Jianqin right there. Yu Jianqin stared at Hua Qingyuan in astonishment, about to ask, "Senior brother, weren't you only at Golden Core Realm? What's going on?" Hua Qingyuan only responded with a calm gaze. Not just him, but even the 2 Qingyun sect experts were stunned. As the senior, Hua Qingyuan had to maintain his composure. He quickly explained that while removing the blood sunflower seeds from their spiritual seeds, he discovered that the seeds were intertwined with their true spirits. Fearing damage, he only removed the outer layer of the seeds, but this meant the seeds could sprout again at any time, so he left a few strands of his sword chi within their spiritual seeds. The Qingyun sect disciples finally understood why they were freed from Mo Xian's control upon Hua Qingyuan's arrival. They hadn't expected their seemingly weak senior brother to be so powerful. They were filled with admiration. But Hua Qingyuan was annoyed with Yu Jianqin for not telling him about this earlier. He was now being blamed for the situation. Hua Qingyuan looked at Yu Jiangxin's unhappy face. He couldn't understand why Yu Jianqin was still upset after they had succeeded. But since it was his cute junior brother, he decided to appease him. "Yu Jianqin, you were crucial to defeating Mo Xian this time." Yu Jiangxin's frown immediately turned into a smile. He looked at Yu Jianqin expectantly. Hua Qingyuan continued his coaxing. "If you hadn't pretended to be trapped, how could you have used your keen observation to deceive that foolish Mo Xian?" He hadn't expected the Qingyun sect disciples to also get caught up in the act. Seeing his senior brother's affirmation, Yu Jiangxin's face quickly broke into a wide grin. He then looked at Hua Qingyuan with admiration. Although his cultivation was still low, he was unexpectedly wise and resourceful. But Hua Qingyuan only had one thought. Finish work early to get an early holiday. This is a wise man who uses strategies to subdue all things, but reality often doesn't cooperate. The heavenly training formation beneath them reactivated. As a proper boss, Missouri Xian had a respawn system. Hua Qingyuan was now as disappointed as he had been happy earlier. As Mo Xian's body reformed, Su Su, Yi Hao, and Air Hao dissipated, they merged into his dantian, and a demonic blade slowly materialized. Yu Jianqin quickly launched a sword attack, aiming to sever the blade. Yu Jianqin prepared to fight again, but Mo Xian, with his heavenly blood formation complete, effortlessly blocked Yu Jiangxin's attack with a single hand, because his heavenly blood formation was finally complete. Yu Jianqin desperately told everyone to run. That last attack had exhausted his remaining strength, but he didn't notice Hua Qingyuan already holding the 2, and saying, "You 3 go first. I'll catch up soon." This stopped the 3 who were actively fleeing. But Mo Xian wouldn't let them escape either. Seized by the gigantic blood fiends, despair once again filled the space. Mo Ju seemed like an immortal being. But Yu Jianqin discovered something even more despairing. Immortal Cultivation had risen to the 8th level. How could he complete the blood refinement formation tomorrow? They had underestimated Immortal's madness. He had intended to keep No and No as collectibles, but for the formation's success, he not only absorbed the concoction, but also poisoned himself with it. Looking at the 4 struggling captives, Immortal declared, "This is the first step of the demon lord's reign over the world. A testing ground for refining demon soldiers." Hearing refining demon soldiers, the 4 quickly recalled ancient texts. A long time ago, when the demon soldiers appeared, countless righteous cultivators were slaughtered. Only when a supreme expert intervened were they defeated. The demon soldiers were thought to be extinct, but now Yu Jianqin realized that even now, her senior brother was still resisting. Immortal, without further ado, prepared to finish them off. But a spiritual light interrupted him. Hua Qingyuan looked helplessly at the noisy clock in his hand. It was time for work. Before Mo Xian could process the concept of work, a large blue sword shot towards him. The arrogant Mo Xian was instantly sent flying. Because work meant that Hua Qingyuan had to show off. He told Yu Jianqin and the others to quickly escape. Go. I'll hold him off. Activate the locking forest formation to protect the village. But Yu Jianqin was deeply worried about her low cultivation senior brother. The 2 from the Qingyun sect were also worried. Mo Xian had pushed himself to his limits. His strength was at least at the 8th level of the earthly palace realm. Even together, they were no match. Moreover, Hua Qingyuan was only at the spirit-gathering realm. Looking at his worried junior sister, he said calmly, "Don't worry, it will be over soon." Below, Mo Xian, who had been knocked away by Hua Qingyuan's sword, was dumbfounded. How could someone at the spirit-gathering realm be so strong? This must be some rich kid from a prominent sect. Did you cheat just now? Did you use some secret technique? Hua Qingyuan was exasperated. Do I need tricks to deal with you? Yu Jianqin was already happily escaping. Yun was truly puzzled. Are you really abandoning senior brother Hua? How can he possibly defeat Mo Xian? With his spirit gathering 6th level cultivation, hell be squashed with one slap. Yu Jianqin gritted her teeth, determination in her eyes. She didn't know either, but she trusted her senior brother. Ever since they descended the mountain, every decision Hua Qingyuan made was right. And Yu Jianqin was right. Now unleashed, Hua Qingyuan was like a war god. He casually blocked Mo Xian's furious attack. A chilling killing intent spread, causing the sky to darken. Looking at Hua Qingyuan in the air, Mo Xian was furious. Who is the real treasure here? Yu Jianqin and the others quickly reached the village and immediately activated the locking forest formation. Looking at the successfully activated formation, they could finally relax. Mo Xian was fuming, his entire body trembling with rage. You don't think that was all of my power, do you? Hua Qingyuan, looking at the still posturing Mo Xian, taunted, "Show me your best moves now. You won't get another chance." This was unbearable humiliation. He wasn't the same as before. He was now Super Mo Xian. The blood-gathering slash was indeed powerful. Just the shockwave could shatter mountains. Clearly, he was also satisfied with the terrifying power of this move. But this was no longer a question of whether or not to use it. This was absolute despair from Hua Qingyuan. This was his personal game. Faced with Hua Qingyuan's mockery, Mo Xian focused his spear, rapidly gathering demonic energy. A wildly violent energy began to condense. This was Mo Xian's ultimate skill. Demonic light annihilation. In the village, watching the earth-shattering battle, Yun couldn't believe the terrifying power of the demonic technique. Beside her, Yu Jianxin's whole body was trembling, tears streaming from her eyes. She prayed for her senior brother's safety. However, Mo Xian's ultimate skill, while visually impressive, completely missed Hua Qingyuan. A flashy skill is useless if it doesn't connect. In an instant, Hua Qingyuan tore apart the blood-colored energy beam. Witnessing this, Mo Xian thought he must be dreaming. This must be an illusion. In his despair, Hua Qingyuan's voice echoed, "Are you wondering how a mere spirit-gathering 6th-level cultivator can toy with you? It's simple. I've sealed my cultivation." He had never dared to cultivate openly, afraid of accidentally ascending to the heavenly realm. Moreover, as a disciple of a prominent sect, being too flashy wasn't a good thing. The greater the power, the greater the responsibility. To live a peaceful life, he had to hide his strength. Now exposed, he just wanted to escape. In his eyes, Hua Qingyuan was a complete lunatic. And this game, Hua Qingyuan hadn't even finished playing yet and wanted to continue. How ridiculous. He had disturbed his rest time repeatedly, harmed his companions, and forced him to leave his house early. Mo Xian was truly terrified and wanted to escape quickly. But he wasn't fast enough. Qingyuan's azure cloud swords might dissipated with Mo Xian's final desperate attack. Zhao Shi immediately activated his heavenly eye, while Hua Qingyuan prepared to intervene. Zi Yun and Zhong Er, who were observing the battle from the side, were astonished by the sheer power of this attack. They couldn't believe their eyes. This Yu Jianxin was truly becoming more and more formidable. Even they, with their combined cultivation at the peak of the 4th level of the spirit condensation realm, felt threatened by the power of this attack. This little cow is truly electrifying. Yu Jianxin, on the other hand, was lost in thought. He had vowed to protect Kai Ji, his senior brother. Yet, his title as the #1 disciple seemed insignificant in front of such power. He felt utterly useless. Just as he was wallowing in self-pity, he heard the cracking sound of the protective formation. The powerful fluctuations from the previous attack were causing the grand formation to crumble. Yu Jianxin snapped back to reality. He suddenly realized that the spiritual energy within this place was too dense for ordinary people to absorb. He urged Zi Yun and Zhong Er to leave and absorb the dispersed spiritual energy while he tried to hold the formation. However, he was already at his limit. Just as the formation was about to shatter, a giant hand appeared and instantly repaired the collapsing formation. The overflowing spiritual energy also dispersed. The newcomer was none other than his eldest senior brother, Hua Qingyuan. The crisis was averted. Yu Jianxin was dumbfounded. Hua Qingyuan, since you were so powerful, why didn't you tell me sooner? Hua Qingyuan feigned ignorance and immediately played dumb. Ha! Are you delirious from the beating? I'm only at the spirit condensation realm. How could I possibly defeat Zisu? Qing Fa's defeat is also a mystery. I only used the formation given to me by the sect master. Yu Jianxin was still full of questions. Our protagonist began his deceptive act, and after half an hour of confusing explanations, Yu Jianxin finally reluctantly believed Hua Qingyuan's words. But he still had one last question. How could Hua Qingyuan possibly control the overflowing spiritual energy? That wasn't something someone at the spirit condensation realm could do. Upon hearing this, Hua Qingyuan immediately took out a jade pendant. All three gasped. A hidden spirit jade. This jade could store spiritual energy and release it later. Senior brother Hua's explanation was flawless. However, something still felt amiss. Hua Qingyuan then touched Yu Jianxin's forehead. Don't overthink it. If I were that strong, wouldn't the sect master have noticed? Yu Jianxin, touched by this unexpected display of affection, blushed. All his previous suspicions vanished. Meanwhile, Zi Yun and Zhong Er seemed very interested in the jade pendant. Hua Qingyuan explained that the jade pendant was given to him by the heavens. Currently, he couldn't fully utilize its power and could only temporarily seal it within his original core. After the explanation, everyone arrived at the location of the demonic soldier. Hua Qingyuan was about to retrieve the demonic soldier and bring it back to the eastern gate, but the demonic soldier suddenly surged with demonic energy, and was about to break free. It seemed another demonic cultivator was trying to summon the demonic soldier. However, Yu Jianxin and Ziyu were already exhausted, and Hua Qingyuan couldn't reveal his true strength. He could only watch as the demonic soldier disappeared before their eyes. Fortunately, Hua Qingyuan had left a sword chi mark within the demonic soldier. It would be impossible for anyone to directly control it without his permission. As everyone discussed the demonic soldier, a resurrected body emerged from the demonic cauldron in a distant location. Another figure emerged from a different cauldron. It was none other than Xia Yun, the old ancestor who was killed by Hua Qingyuan in the first episode. He dreamed of revenge against Hua Qingyuan. However, a voice interrupted his thoughts. It was Mo Cho, the one who helped him resurrect. Old ancestor, Mo Cho began. Mo Xian had created a demonic fetus, but it was sealed within Zhao Wishi's body. This limits your power. I will give you an arm of a spirit beast. If you still cannot defeat him, then consider yourself fired. Meanwhile, on their way back to the sect, Zi Yun's junior brother seemed to have discovered Hua Qingyuan's secret. Everything that happened was within his expectations. From the moment we left the inn and entered the forest, the earth ostrich egg we consumed, and the battle, He continued to recount the events, until he finally showed up, his seemingly timely arrival. If it weren't for Hua Qingyuan's intervention, even the slightest misstep would have meant our demise. Yun also seemed to catch on. That explains the strange formation during training. Do you still remember the indispensable pill we took? I'm afraid we didn't swallow a medicinal pill, but a sword intent. Jian Qi's sword intent. The reason we weren't poisoned is precisely because of the sword qi running within the sword intent. It countered all the poison in our bodies. This white-clothed elder's dizzying poison was neutralized upon entering our bodies, but why hide his strength? Unbeknownst to you Jianqin, Hua Qingyuan just wanted to be a lifesaver for Wang Wu, but another dilemma faced the two. Should they tell Yu Jianqin now? After a moment, Yu Jianqin made up his mind. Since senior brother Hua doesn't want to reveal his strength and even saved us, of course, we must respect his choice. Unaware that their every word and action was being monitored by the cunning Hua Qingyuan, who left them with a harmless dispersal technique. At this moment, the sect master's token lit up, ordering them to return to the sect immediately. On their way back, Yu Jianqin still had doubts. Senior brother Hua, are you really not hiding your strength? Hua Qingyuan put on an innocent face, claiming he was just a small fry at the 6th level of qi condensation, incomparable to a genius like Yu Jianqin, who knew Yu Jiangxin's expression would darken, and he shifted to Hua Qingyuan's side. Hua Qingyuan panicked. At the moment the sword rose, the clothes at Hua Qingyuan's chest were cut. A book, treasured by Hua Qingyuan, fell out. Before he could react, Yu Jianqin immediately snatched it back. Looking at the cover, Yu Jiangxin's face flushed. So hot. So hot. Hua Qingyuan, seeing this, immediately grabbed the novel and stuttered, This is just a martial arts novel. Subsequently, Hua Qingyuan quickly opened a page, Masaka, so hot. Yu Jiangxin's entire being was burning up. Then Hua Qingyuan began an hour-long brainwashing session. Yu Jianqin finally seemed to believe him. He then began to lecture Hua Qingyuan, senior brother, your talent is exceptional. Don't be blinded by these worldly things. You should focus on cultivation. Saying this, he wanted to continue their journey. Hua Qingyuan breathed a sigh of relief. Junior sister should finally be satisfied with my explanation, right? But then, another sword qi shot towards him. Hua Qingyuan was too late to dodge, and casually deflected the sword qi. Now, he could no longer explain. It seems our silly, naive junior sister had become clever. Hua Qingyuan could only helplessly admit, alright, I admit I hit a little bit. Hearing this, Yu Jianqin didn't inform the sect master, but looked at Hua Qingyuan with an understanding expression, which made Hua Qingyuan nervous. This moment completely reversed their roles. Hua Qingyuan had originally planned to use this mission to get a 3-day cultivation break. But looking at his cute junior sister, it seemed this was a case of buying high and selling low, a total loss. I can teach you, but before Hua Qingyuan could finish, Yu Jiangxin's eyes lit up. Senior brother, you just teach me, I will definitely keep my mouth shut. Let's hurry back. Hua Qingyuan could only resign himself to his fate. A while later, they arrived at the sect. As soon as they arrived, Yu Jianqin greeted the elders obediently. Seeing Yu Jianqin, the elders immediately adopted a doting attitude. Jianqin, did you get hurt? But to Hua Qingyuan, it was different. The elders looked at him with disdain. Hua Qingyuan, did you cause trouble for Jianqin? If you hurt her because of your actions, I'll rip you a new one. Hua Qingyuan felt somewhat wronged by the elders' double standard. If it weren't for him, their prized disciple might have already been turned into demonic dust. At this time, the sect master's words interrupted everyone. This is naturally thanks to Qingyuan's timely activation of his sword intent. Otherwise, it would have been difficult to eliminate the demonic sect elder. The elders finally quieted down. Hua Qingyuan's master, on the other hand, was stunned. The sword talisman he gave could only activate a subpar sword intent. How could it have activated a martial-grade sword intent? Then, looking at the guilty Hua Qingyuan, he wondered if he had given the wrong talisman. Fortunately, the sect master spoke again. Forget it for this time. The reason everyone is here is because the appearance of the demon lord may put the entire Qingyuan continent in danger. Jianqin, tell everyone what happened. After Yu Jianqin rambled on for a while, the meeting ended. Hua Qingyuan was planning his 3-day cultivation break, but Yu Jianqin appeared out of nowhere, immediately asking her senior brother for lessons. Programmers are emotionless, they only love lines of code. But Yu Jianqin didn't care. She immediately started acting, tears welling up in her eyes. After some heartfelt pleading, Hua Qingyuan finally relented. "Tonight, come to my residence. I will personally teach you my swordsmanship." Soon night arrived. Yu Jianxin arrived punctually. Hua Qingyuan was already prepared. "Please, attack me with all your might." Yu Jianxin immediately channeled her spiritual power, forming a blue phoenix, surrounding her sword, Qingyun Nine Heavens. A powerful sword chi instantly surged towards Hua Qingyuan. With just a single hand, he completely neutralized the immense sword chi. Yu Jianxin stared at the dissipating sword chi in a daze for a few seconds. Hua Qingyuan, on the other hand, looked confident. Yu Jiangxin's face paled, and cold sweat dripped down her forehead. She hadn't expected her senior brother to have reached such a level. Her little bit of pride instantly shattered. "Senior brother, how?" Hua Qingyuan calmly replied, "Junior sister, everything in the world has flaws, and swordsmanship is no exception. I simply found the flaw in your sword technique and used its weakness against it. So, no matter the technique, as long as you continuously refine it and cultivate it to perfection, even the simplest blade of grass can become an invincible weapon." Yu Jianxin listened attentively, realizing that she had cultivated for more than 20 years, painstakingly practicing her swordsmanship every day. "Though I become the chief disciple, as senior brother Hua said, a realm formed by good fortune. I didn't even dare to dream of this." Hua Qingyun then tapped his foot, a stone tablet rising into the air. Grasping it, he infused it with his spiritual energy, drawing the azure cloud twin swords back and forth, carving into the tablet. A moment later, the stone tablet rested in his palm. The sword intent on this tablet is subtle and profound. It will allow your swordsmanship to reach a new level. Hua Qingyun then handed the tablet to Yu Jianxin. "Junior sister, remember, this tablet must never be discussed with others. The consequences are dire." Yu Jianxin carefully placed the tablet in her chest, as if she had obtained an incredible treasure. Yu Jianxin, truly the king of, after obtaining the tablet, immediately bid farewell to Hua Qingyun. Hua Qingyun watched Yu Jianxin depart, shaking his head slightly. She came here seeking guidance on cultivation, yet she doesn't seem to care much about her health. 4 days later, Hua Qingyun was preparing to go to Cloudstar City to buy a limited edition illustrated novel, when he discovered that his master, Swordsman, was also going out. I must not be greedy for such things. After flying for a while, Martial Hall Master suddenly stopped. He realized that someone was following him. "Taoist friend, haven't you grown tired of following me for so long?" A moment later, a bloody shadow flashed across the sky, quickly coalescing into a person. I've long heard of Martial Hall Masters. Incredible speed, but seeing it today, it's nothing more than this. Martial Hall Master's expression turned serious. It must be Xiangde, the leader of the demonic Cloud sect. He seemed to realize there was a traitor within the sect. For now, he can only buy some time by condensing his sword intent. Xiangde had already seen through his little trick and even taunted him. "Martial Hall Master, are you almost done?" "Preparing." At this moment, Martial Hall Master stopped pretending. A fierce, crimson spiritual energy erupted from his sword, rising high into the air. The starlight twinkled as 10,000 swords appeared, aimed at Xiangde. "Let me see if your sword intent can withstand my myriad swords." Meanwhile, in Cloudstar City, Hua Qingyun was about to buy the novel when the sound of a shattered jade pendant reached his ears. It was the protective jade pendant he had given Swordsman. Hua Qingyun instantly panicked. Swordsman was a peak advanced stage 1 expert. How could he be in mortal danger? At that moment, Xiangde struck him with a powerful blow. "Not bad, you actually managed to block my attack." Xiangde then realized that the shattered jade pendant belonged to Hua Qingyun. He didn't plan to give him any chance to react and immediately attacked again, preparing to deliver a final blow. Hua Qingyun realized the gravity of the situation and immediately unleashed part of his true strength, allowing his divine sense to pinpoint Xiangde's location. In an instant, he locked onto his position and shouted, "Azure Cloud Sword Art! Dawnbreaker!" A colossal sword chi shot towards Xiangde. Xiangde was severely injured, and Martial Hall Master took the opportunity to rescue Hua Qingyun. Xiangde looked at the torn piece of clothing in his hand, a sinister glint in his eyes. "I will kill you." However, Hua Qingyun wasn't satisfied. He hadn't expected that he wouldn't be able to defeat his opponent in one move. He feared Xiangde's strength was at least advanced stage 4. This made Hua Qingyuan's scalp tingle. Why would such a strong, expert assassinate Swordsman? Thankfully, Swordsman had escaped back to the sect. For now, buying the limited edition novel was more important. The novel's sales point was bustling with activity. A long queue stretched out as far as the eye could see. Hua Qingyuan was dumbfounded. He couldn't help but recall his previous calculations. Although he was a peak foundation establishment cultivator, he still had to follow the rules and queue up. After a long hours, night fell, but he was told that there was only one copy left, and Hua Qingyuan was the lucky one. However, a beautiful woman suddenly appeared, intending to snatch the novel from him. He turned to see a woman with long hair, bright eyes, and a charming smile, but Hua Qingyuan wouldn't be swayed by her beauty. He grabbed the novel, refusing to let go. The atmosphere grew tense. The woman was the first to break the silence. "Handsome Taoist brother, can you give the last copy to me?" Her sweet voice and charming pout were irresistible, but our protagonist, a true straight man, resolutely refused the woman and offered to buy it from her at double the price, only to be met with disdain. The shopkeeper watched the two with amusement. Seeing that they were about to clash, he intervened. "Two Taoist friends, anger harms the body. Why don't you two settle this peacefully?" Then, the woman seemed to have thought of something. "Since neither of us wants to give up, let's have a fair duel." She took out several jade cards. Rock, paper, scissors, best of 3. Hua Qingyuan thought he could use his divine sense to cheat, but the woman explained that these were specially made by the divine artifact sect, and their spiritual energy could only be perceived with the naked eye. Hua Qingyuan immediately released his divine sense and found it was true. So he started playing with the woman. Then he began to count down. At the last second, they quickly placed their jade cards on the table. For fairness, the shopkeeper flipped the cards. As he expected, Hua Qingyuan won the first round. The woman was heartbroken, while Hua Qingyuan was overjoyed. But she couldn't see how he had done it, so they continued. The second round was a tie. Hua Qingyuan's heart sank. He could only accept the outcome. But then someone stole the novel while they were distracted. The woman left, and Hua Qingyuan was furious, so much so that he almost beat up the shopkeeper. After calming down, Hua Qingyuan decided to look around before returning to the sect. Since the sect master had often asked him to run errands, he might as well pick up some complimentary tea. Soon, the tea was packed. Just as Hua Qingyuan was about to return, he heard an argument. He stopped and saw that it was the woman from earlier. She was arguing with a group of men. Apparently, she had played rock, paper, scissors with them as well, and after losing several rounds in a row, the men suspected her of cheating and confronted her. But the next second, the woman ran away. The men weren't going to let her get away and immediately gave chase. A large hand grabbed the woman and pulled her back. The woman seemed to see something and quickly turned around and shouted, "Brother!" The men immediately stopped and looked back. Hua Qingyuan, seeing the woman who stole his novel, remained calm and stated he had no connection with her and wouldn't interfere. The men then asked the woman to return their money. "How heartless! Have you forgotten our first encounter?" Hua Qingyuan said, "I only lost a rock, paper, scissors game to you." The two men seemed to understand. The woman had scammed others too. So, they stepped forward to teach her a lesson. Hua Qingyuan watched from the side. "Two Taoist friends, be gentle." But the woman took out the limited edition novel. "If you don't help me, I'll destroy this novel right now." The two men didn't care and attacked, wanting the woman to pay. But Hua Qingyuan easily broke their attack. He had just promised not to interfere. Hua Qingyuan, for a novel, had become a complete pushover. Helplessly, he explained to the two men. "Two Taoist friends. There's been a misunderstanding." He turned to the woman and asked her to return the novel. But the woman made a provocative gesture and disappeared. He had been tricked twice in one day. This time, Hua Qingyuan was furious and determined to make her pay. He instantly erupted with power, which shocked the two men. What cultivation level is this? Which sect is he from? This aura is terrifying. Oh no, brother, our protection money is still in that woman's hands. By this time, the woman had arrived at a secluded inn. As she was celebrating, she was startled by a gust of wind. When she turned around, she was shocked to find Hua Qingyuan standing before her. Before she could react, he sealed her acupuncture points and spiritual power. Without her spiritual power, the woman swayed. Hua Qingyuan caught her. You're quite something. Which sect are you from? You dared to trick me. It was said that in Cloudstar City, there was an unwritten rule. Anyone who caused trouble in the city would have their spiritual power sealed and be forced to clean the main streets for 3 days. Hua Qingyuan didn't care about the rules. He just wanted his novel back. The woman obediently returned the book. After getting the book back, Hua Qingyuan unsealed her and gave her some spirit stones. He was a reasonable person. But he also had one more question for the woman. How did she cheat in rock paper scissors? The woman claimed she hadn't cheated. Just used a little trick. What trick? Hua Qingyuan's interest was piqued. The jade card in the woman's hand flipped over and instantly changed into a different card. This sleight of hand didn't use any spiritual energy. No wonder I kept losing. It's pure skill. Hua Qingyuan was utterly defeated. But he questioned, then why did I win the first round when I flipped your card? And how did you change the card in the second round? Have you heard of a sleight of hand technique that makes you think you saw something different than what was actually there? It tricks your perception. The three of them were astonished. It was the legendary art of illusion. Under the questioning of the two men, the woman revealed herself to be Yu Qingwu, the illusionary star thousand change princess of the illusory number sect. Seeing the woman's impressive illusion skills, the two men introduced themselves as Mo Yun and Bai Ren, elite disciples of the Cloudstar sect. Their purpose was to explore the Cloudstar mountains in search of treasures. Seeing the woman's proficiency in illusions, they invited her to join them. Hua Qingyuan, hearing about hidden treasures, was immediately interested. The two men then said that a few days ago, a red-winged creature appeared deep within the Cloudstar mountains, possibly indicating the presence of a rare treasure. Hua Qingyuan seemed to realize something. A few days ago, red wings. Couldn't it be that demonic fetus? No, it can't be. What a coincidence. Yu Qingwu readily agreed to join them. Mo Yun seemed to want to invite Hua Qingyuan as well, but Hua Qingyuan, a notorious workaholic, wouldn't take on extra work during his vacation. He just wanted to go back to the sect and finish reading his new novel. Yu Qingwu had ulterior motives. Although he's a stick in the mud, he'll definitely come back to me. Elsewhere in the forest, the demonic soldiers controlling the demonic fetus were absorbing the surrounding spiritual energy. The demonic ancestor watched with a sinister smile. At this rate, in a few hours, he'll be able to extract the evolved demonic fetus. But just then, he sensed a spiritual fluctuation. Someone was approaching. He released his divine sense to investigate. Two inner sect disciples. Their cultivation is insignificant. But if they discover the demonic fetus and inform Cloudstar City, it'll be troublesome. The strongest among the three was only at the Foundation Establishment Stage 3, but as inner sect disciples, they certainly had protective talismans. Summoning the blood-flesh puppet would be too messy. Fortunately, the boss gave me overtime benefits. Come out, little guy. Let me use these inner sect disciples as practice. 3 living sacrifices delivered to his doorstep. What a waste not to use them. Meanwhile, in a teahouse in Cloudstar City, Hua Qingyuan was enjoying his novel and was about to reach the climax. The mastermind behind the whole story was about to be revealed. Full of anticipation, he turned to the last page, only to find it blank. Hua Qingyuan was stunned. He seemed to hear Yu Qingwa's laughter. You're so gullible. Enraged, Hua Qingyuan rushed towards the Cloudstar Mountains, determined to catch Yu Qingwu and retrieve the last page. Meanwhile, the deeper the three ventured into the forest, the more ominous it became. Yu Qingwu felt something watching them. Could it be Hua Qingyuan? I hope he doesn't find us. She prayed silently. Soon, the three encountered trouble. They heard something approaching rapidly. Hua Qingyuan's worried face flashed through Bai Ren's mind. Mo Yun stepped forward to investigate. But as he approached Bai Ren, he was ambushed by a shadowy figure and knocked unconscious. Now only Yu Qingwu remained. She frantically activated her defensive talismans. Who is it? Show yourself. But Yu Qingwu was also struck down by the shadowy figure. This is what happens when you underestimate your opponents. Hua Qingyuan arrived at Yu Qingwa's location, only to find the three had disappeared without a trace. There were no signs of a struggle. Could they have been instantly defeated? Then, Hua Qingyuan sensed something hiding in the shadows. He immediately released his divine sense. Just then, a shadowy figure lunged at him, attempting a sneak attack. For a seasoned veteran like Hua Qingyuan, it was like encountering someone using the bathroom in the middle of the night. As the shadow approached, Hua Qingyuan roared, "Who are you? What do you want?" The further they went, the denser the fog became. Yu Qingwu had a bad feeling. "I feel like something is watching us. Please don't let it be Hua Qingyuan," she thought, nervously. They soon discovered something was rapidly approaching them. Byron, worried about Hua Qingyuan, was caught off guard. Mo Yun rushed forward to check, but just as he reached Byron, a dark figure attacked, knocking him unconscious. Now, only Yu Qingwu remained, frantically activating her defensive talismans. "Who's there? Show yourself." But she too was struck down by the figure. "This is what you get for being so arrogant." Hua Qingyuan arrived at Yu Qingwa's last known location, but found the trio had vanished without a trace. There were no signs of a struggle. Were they instantly defeated? Hua Qingyuan sensed something lurking nearby. He released his divine sense. Just then, a shadowy figure attacked him. This was like a midnight bathroom trip for the experienced Hua Qingyuan. As the figure approached, Hua Qingyuan bellowed, "Who are you? What are you doing?" As the black chi dispersed, a 3-year-old girl appeared. She watched Hua Qingyuan attack, and Hua Qingyuan approached her. Seemingly unable to speak, he inquired, "The 3 cultivators here, it was you who defeated them, right? Are they still alive?" The little girl nodded frantically. "Before I won't let you." At the same time, the girl clutched her head in pain and quickly flew away. Hua Qingyuan exclaimed, "Could this be soul control? I remember Swordsman saying it's a forbidden technique that seals a living soul within a spirit, an extremely cruel method. Could it be the demonic sect again?" Elsewhere, Patriarch Xiaoran was furious. Why has it taken so long to capture that new cultivator? He shook the leader violently, stomping on the girl. "That guy is so tough. You are chosen by the divine beast. Are you trying to escape? If you dare to betray me, I will make your life a living hell." He decided to capture the cultivator himself, but a voice stopped him. "No need for you to trouble yourself, Patriarch. Here." Hua Qingyuan now hovered above Patriarch Xiaoran. "Yo, isn't this Patriarch Xiaoyun still alive and kicking after all this time?" This enraged Patriarch Xiaoran. Remembering his previous defeat, rage surged through him. He attacked Hua Qingyuan, but his attack was easily deflected. "Hey, Patriarch, you're still so weak after all these days." Patriarch Xiaoran turned crimson. "Someone kill him for me." But the spirit bell in his hand was instantly shattered by Hua Qingyuan. He then said to Xiao Xianin, "You don't have to wait anymore. Your shackles are broken, you're free." Xiao Xianin, tears streaming down her face, flew towards Hua Qingyuan. But Patriarch Xiaoran threatened, "Xianin, if you dare, even without the soul control, you cannot defy me. Otherwise, that lord will definitely." Before he finished, he was slammed to the ground. Xiao Xianin desperately rushed into Hua Qingyuan's arms. Hua Qingyuan stroked Xiao Zuanian's forehead. "You can go home now. Don't worry, I'll handle this. I know what it's like to be exploited." Patriarch Xiaoran was not about to give up. He slammed his hand onto the ground. Blood-colored runes appeared. From the sky, a massive blood-red hand emerged. "Who dares summon me?" Patriarch Xiaoran knelt. "I implore the demon lord to kill this cultivator. Go, Blood Eye. Go and see who dares to summon this lord." As the giant hand approached, Hua Qingyuan remained calm, slowly drawing his sword. The demon lord didn't even last 3 seconds before being instantly obliterated. Patriarch Xiaoyun was stunned. Hua Qingyuan sighed. The demonic sect is truly, utterly useless. Hua Qingyuan was not planning to stop there. He channeled his qi into his fingertips. Patriarch Xiaoran was terrified. He instinctively tried to flee, shouting, "Don't trouble me." But the next second, he was caught in the sword qi, trapped and screaming. The explosion blasted towards Hua Qingyuan. Hua Qingyuan turned around. "Like hell, I'll wait." He then looked at the 3 collapsed cultivators. You 3 are unlucky. You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. He undid their restraints. Yu Qinwu woke up and looked at his savior, filled with gratitude, speechless. Meanwhile, demonic chi surged behind Hua Qingyuan. He absorbed the demonic fetus demonic energy, then entered a demonic realm. A flash of light erupted from within, and when it subsided, Lao Du held a demonic blade. Revived once more, Lao Du said, "You're strong, I admit. I almost killed you. You actually surpassed my final technique, but now, you're the one who's going to die." Hua Qingyuan didn't know what secret technique the enemy used, but if one strike wasn't enough, he'd strike again. Unexpectedly, Patriarch Xiaoran easily deflected the attack, and launched a terrifying counterattack. Hua Qingyuan quickly pushed the 3 cultivators away, barely blocking the blow, but he was still sent flying. He was confused. Patriarch Xiaoran was originally at the early stage of Earth Immortal Realm. Now, he had reached the late stage of Earth Immortal Realm. Soon, Hua Qingyuan understood. It was because of the ancient treasure on Patriarch Xiaoran's head, the Tongtian crown. It was said that this treasure, when activated with spiritual energy, could greatly enhance one's cultivation, but at the cost of one's lifespan. Anyone who obtained the Tongtian crown would eventually wither and die. Although I don't know how it ended up in your hands, all things in heaven and earth follow the great Tao. Hua Qingyuan took out a mirror and showed it to Patriarch Xiaoran. You think that obtaining superhuman strength and inhuman recovery comes without a price. Look at yourself. Patriarch Xiaoran looked into the mirror and broke out in a cold sweat. However, he believed that as long as he could bring the demonic fetus back, that Lord would surely grant him a way to recover. Hua Qingyuan decided this man was beyond redemption and prepared to end him. Patriarch Xiaoran bit his finger, activating the Tongtian crown with his blood. His power surged again, transforming into a giant beast and charging towards Hua Qingyuan. Hua Qingyuan countered with his Qingyun sword, but it was ineffective. He was caught by the demonic beast. Patriarch Xiaoran had now reached the peak of Earth Immortal Realm. But Hua Qingyuan was not giving up. As he was about to break free, a golden energy suddenly attacked Lao Du, but was repelled. The attacker was the divine beast's chosen one. He had returned, but he was no match for Patriarch Xiaoran. Just as he was about to be killed, Hua Qingyuan intervened. "I'll block him. Little guy, didn't I tell you to leave?" But Lao Du's claw was already inches away. There was no time to break free. At the critical moment, a divine power came from behind, activating a spatial teleportation. Hua Qingyuan vanished. Patriarch Xiaoran was stunned. He's gone. It turned out that Yu Qinwu had cast the flower cleansing rain. This was also noticed by the ancestor. "Insolent fool, you caused this trouble, so you will fix it." Unexpectedly, a mysterious force stopped him. Yu Qinwu looked intently at the turbulent scene. It was the complete form of Hua Qingyuan. An unparalleled aura began to emanate from Hua Qingyuan. First a profound ancient chant resonated around him. This was the power of a peak immortal ascendant. The evil cloud, already enveloped by Tongtian Jade and the half-star god, now surged towards Hua Qingyuan for another violent collision. Xiao's eyes widened, because his full-powered strike was effortlessly caught by Hua Qingyuan with just 2 fingers. Even Yu Qinwu below couldn't help but gasp. One must know, this was a superior power advantage. Hua Qingyuan then instantly formed a seal, a corner of which was directed at the evil cloud below. This meager force was more than enough to deal with the evil cloud. Under this powerful pressure, the evil cloud's core began to destabilize, dissipating despite still having the upper hand, holding its demonic weapon high. It was about to strike Hua Qingyuan. However, the moment Hua Qingyuan's seal touched it, the evil cloud's resistance crumbled. Its golden core was about to be absorbed. "This is Hua Qingyuan. I present to you the ultimate technique, the 9-cloud sword art." He condensed an enormous golden blade and prepared to cleave space. Below, the evil cloud could no longer offer any resistance. Its body and soul were completely destroyed by that one strike, leaving only a demonic embryo floating in the air. "Tongtian Jade, mission complete," Hua Qingyuan said, dusting off his robes, his face calm, as if nothing had happened. However, someone witnessed this scene and was left speechless. Yu Qinwu, watching Hua Qingyuan in the sky, whose aura immediately returned to the spirit palace realm, was stunned. She was about to avert her gaze when she was attracted by the Tongtian Jade. Somehow, It suddenly seemed beautiful to her. Just as Yu Qingwu was about to touch it, a voice echoed in her mind, "I'm certain you shouldn't touch that." Under Yu Qingwa's watchful gaze, Hua Qingyuan casually absorbed the Tongtian jade. "I was just cut by that thing, right?" "Yep, it's definitely dangerous," he mused. Shao Sun, like the evil cloud, had been suppressed by the seal. Seeing the battle end, Shao Sun cautiously approached Hua Qingyuan, only to be stopped by Yu Qingwu. "It was you who ambushed me earlier," she accused. Seeing Hua Qingyuan, she was about to attack, but he quickly explained, "I study medicine and have no intention of harming others. I was merely controlled by the demonic qi. It was beyond my control." Hua Qingyuan stroked Shao Sun's head. "Alright, it's safe now. We can leave. Be careful, don't get caught again, okay?" This scene left Yu Qingwu mesmerized. Girls all like cute things. It seems she had misjudged Hua Qingyuan. Seeing Hua Qingyuan's strength, "In that case, hand over Shao Sun's demonic core," Yu Qingwu ordered. Obediently, he handed over the last core. Hua Qingyuan finally got his wish. He was now free of trouble, but he still had one thing to do. "Yu Qingwu, please keep this matter a secret," he said, then looked at the demonic embryo. "It's best to bring this back to headquarters. As for the two fainted ones in the cloud ship, you'll leave them in your care." Yu Qingwu was taken aback. She wasn't their nanny. Just as Hua Qingyuan was about to touch the demonic embryo, suddenly, a large hand, outlined by golden light, reached out from the void. "This demonic embryo is not for you to take." Hua Qingyuan also immediately sensed the owner of the giant hand was also a peak immortal ascendant expert. "Qingyun Jian, Hua Qingyuan, I remember you." With these parting words, the figure retreated into the void. As for Hua Qingyuan, why didn't he pursue? The reason was simple. First, that person was very strong, probably stronger than him. Second, retrieving the demonic embryo wasn't his goal. Third, it was his cultivation break time. "Young lady, farewell." He didn't look back, leaving only a bewildered Yu Qingwu in the air. As Hua Qingyuan left, sounds of thwack, thwack, thwack came from the forest. It was Yu Qingwa's disciplinary action. When the two woke up, they were confused. Fortunately, Yu Qingwu explained what had happened. Moyun then wanted to apologize to Hua Qingyuan, unaware he had already left. At this moment, Bai Ren mentioned, the Tianjiao Saint War will begin soon. With Hua Daoyu's strength, he will definitely participate. We can apologize then. Yu Qingwu was curious, what is the Tianjiao Saint War? Moyun explained, every 10 years, the Xianzong Alliance holds a grand competition, commonly known as the Tianjiao Saint War. The ranking not only determines the sect's standing, but also affects the allocation of resources. After listening, Yu Qingwu had an idea. It seems I have to return to the sect. Elsewhere, Hua Qingyun was curious about who had taken the demonic embryo. Who was that person, capable of such a technique? He estimated he would need to unleash at least 1/3 of the wind's shadow power to fight that person. Now, the demonic sect was in chaos. Even the 10 venerables were ambushed. If he retrieved the demonic embryo and brought it back to the sect, the situation might worsen, perhaps endangering the entire sect. He still relied on Qingyun Jian for cultivation. How could he ignite such trouble? But then, Hua Qingyun noticed something in the wind. It was Shao Sun, still following him. Seeing her lost expression, he realized she had nowhere to go. Shao Sun clung tightly to Hua Qingyuan's sleeve, refusing to let go. "Then follow me from now on. Fortunately, you're just a gust of wind to others, saving us a lot of trouble. Look, that's Qingyun Jianzong up ahead. Consider it home from now on." Meanwhile, in Yuexin residence, when Jian anxiously rushed to Yuexin Xianzi, asking, "Elder Gu, how is he?" Yuexin Xianzi sighed, Elder Gu suffered multiple bone fractures. And his dantian and 5 internal organs are severely damaged. If he recovers, it will be difficult. When Jian was furious. "Elder Gu, I will demand justice from the Alliance. For you." When Jian then used the Nether Moon Spirit technique to contact the major sects within the Alliance. At this time, the Lianzong sect master asked, "Elder One, what is the reason for this urgent summons? The demonic sect's actions are outrageous." Not only did they refine Yijing into a blood soul pearl, but Elder Moshwan of the Moyan sect also cultivated a demonic embryo. As soon as it appeared, the surrounding spiritual energy became incredibly heavy. The atmosphere immediately became tense. But that wasn't all. A few days ago, my sect disciples, though failing to retrieve the demonic weapon, did recover the blood soul pearl, so I sent Elder Gu to personally deliver it to you. However, he was ambushed by the demonic sect on the way. Not only was the blood soul pearl stolen, he was heavily injured and his mechanisms were damaged. Everyone was in disbelief. As a leading ascendant expert, proficient in various techniques, how could Yu Nidong sustain such severe injuries? At this time, the Eastern Lord of the Tai Su sect, who was traveling the world, announced to the Alliance, "There must be a traitor within our ranks. Starting today, each sect must conduct a thorough internal investigation to prevent collusion with the demonic sect. Furthermore, each Eastern sect should meticulously examine the disciples within their jurisdiction, ensuring everyone is mentally sound. If any demonic sect cultivator is discovered, immediately notify the Alliance to take action. Copy and distribute these arrangements." The Eastern Lord Yun Xingchen approved of these arrangements. But then, Yun Yuxuan, the young lord, revealed shocking news. Several ascendant disciples from the Eastern Riverheart encountered something in the depths of the Yun Xian Mountains. They were ambushed by an elder of the demonic sect and nearly died. The elder wielded the ancient treasure, the Tontian liquid, but was ultimately defeated by Hua Qingyuan, a disciple of the Heavenly Heart sect, and a cultivator named Qin Lingyue. Upon hearing this, Wen Jian was stunned. If Hua Qingyuan's cultivation is no longer hidden, then where is he now? Isn't that guy supposed to be cultivating? Why would he go there? Yun Yuxuan, noticing Wen Jian's puzzled expression, asked if he knew this cultivator. Wen Jian confirmed, Hua Qingyuan is indeed a true disciple of the Heavenly Heart sect. But Qin Lingyue is merely a core formation realm disciple. He must have just been passing by. I'll bring him back for questioning. At this point, Su Xing, the sect master of the Heavenly Heart sect, offered his opinion. Given the recent surge in demonic sect activity, to prepare for unforeseen threats, I propose modifying the rules of the Heavenly Exchange Convention to further motivate the disciples. Xian Daoren disagreed, believing that since the Heavenly Exchange Convention's rules have only been modified thrice, changing them now might be inappropriate. To reassure everyone, Su Xing conjured an item. Everyone was astonished. As the host of this convention, naturally, we won't be stingy. How about this item as the grand prize? Meanwhile, Hua Qingyuan returned to the sect and went straight to Guye's residence, inquiring about his recovery. Upon learning that everything was fine, except for his eyes, he immediately opened the wooden box he brought. Inside were meticulously cultivated Lingcha eyes. Just add some high-quality Lingquan tea, and his eyesight should be fully restored. He handed the tea to Gu Yu. After drinking the tea, Gu Yu began lecturing Hua Qingyuan, "Look at you, always messing around with flowers and herbs. Now, among the true disciples, your cultivation is considered mediocre." To avoid disgracing the sect, Hua Qingyuan decided to release a bit of his spiritual power. "Master, look, I've already reached the 8th level of core formation realm." Gu Yu, upon hearing this, was overjoyed, but his expression immediately darkened. "If I'm not mistaken, it's been 5 or 6 years since your last breakthrough. Look at your younger martial sister, she's already in the nascent soul realm at such a young age." Hua Qingyuan responded with a helpless expression. He tried to change the topic and sneak away, but was stopped by Gu Yu. Gu Yu then brought up the jade pendant. "I'm curious how the jade pendant you gave me could block a fatal blow from an ascendant expert. Are you hiding something from me? Like your true cultivation level, or some kind of secret technique?" Hua Qingyuan quickly explained, "Master, you must be drunk. If I were hiding my cultivation, could I possibly deceive you and the sect master?" Gu Yu sighed, then chuckled. "That's true. I've watched you grow since you joined the sect. Such deceptive tricks are beyond your capabilities." Unsure how to explain the jade pendant, Hua Qingyuan could only claim, "I found the jade pendant in a secret realm. It had an unusual sword chi, so I borrowed master's prestige and gave it to you. I couldn't say that I spent 20 spirit stones to buy it." Seeing that Gu Yu didn't press further, Hua Qingyuan thought he had fooled him. But as he turned around, an embroidered needle flew past his ear. It was Gu Yu testing him. Hua Qingyuan's face turned green, thinking, people are so scheming these days. But then, the erotic novel in his pocket suddenly fell out, leaving Gu Yu dumbfounded. Hua Qingyuan blushed and quickly retrieved the book, explaining, "This is just my little hobby." However, Gu Yu didn't inquire further. Instead dismissing Hua Qingyuan was puzzled why his master didn't scold him. The reason was, the author of this erotic novel was none other than Gu Yu himself. And at this moment, Guyu was holding the unpublished manuscript, threatening him to achieve a top ranking in the upcoming grand tournament. An hour ago, when Jian returned to the sect and announced important news. To hone the disciples' combat abilities, the Heavenly Exchange Convention has lifted the restriction on fatal blows. The rewards, however, are exceptionally generous, including the final key to the Yuchen Heaven realm. Upon hearing this, the elders were shocked. Guyu was especially excited. Yuchen Heaven realm was created by the #1 expert in the Qingyuan realm. It contains countless inheritances, but opening the realm requires keys. So far, only have appeared. If we can obtain this last key, our sect will receive a share of the inheritance. Therefore, this last key, our Heavenly Heart sect must obtain. Subsequently, when Jian announced that the sect's tournament would begin in a week, the news spread quickly. However, this tournament seemed different. Not only were pills and treasures allowed, but even some advanced techniques and divine abilities could be used. This further intensified the already competitive atmosphere within the sect, but one person seemed out of place. Hua Qingyuan. He calmly removed his blindfold and thought, the competition is fierce. Fortunately, I've made some preparations. Before he could think further, Wei Ran suddenly appeared and surprised him. As Hua Qingyan's biggest fan, he brought news about the tournament. The top 3 and those who successfully challenge a true disciple can replace them. Hua Qingyun reacted with feigned indifference. So he confirmed again. Wei Ran affirmed enthusiastically. Then he told Hua Qingyun, I heard many disciples are lining up to challenge you. Looking at the calm Hua Qingyun, he became even more infatuated. Just then, Hua Qingyan's communication amulet suddenly lit up. Qingyun, come to Luyun Hall to find me. After bidding farewell to the person, he arrived at the entrance of his master's secluded residence. Before he could ask, Guyu spoke first, regarding this sect competition. He looked at Hua Qingyun. There's a requirement, that is, you must enter the top. Unexpectedly, Hua Qingyun immediately refused. Impossible, absolutely impossible. I can't do it. Guyu looked at his disciple, truly exasperated. You don't even try. There are only 5 true disciples. If you were serious, entering the top 20 would be a piece of cake. Facing Guyu's questioning, Hua Qingyun immediately entered his hidden persona mode. Master, if I really had that ability, how could I still be at the bottom? Guyu, looking at him like this, felt helpless. Qingyun, do you still remember why I took you as my disciple? Remember that sword technique you displayed on the stage? The insights within were no less than any true disciple. But Hua Qingyun was not ashamed. It wasn't that he hurt his master's feelings, but that he regretted it. He regretted that he should never have shown his hand. As the hidden expert, Hua Qingyun said, if I could reproduce that again, wouldn't I have wasted my previous life's efforts? Master, that was truly a spurofement inspiration. Even if you ask me to do it again now, I absolutely cannot replicate it. Guyu's face darkened. Are you really so heartless? You even refuse this small request of mine. But for the sake of concealing his identity, even if the Jade Emperor came today, Hua Qingyun wouldn't do it. Today, he was just about to enter the world of mortals when he handed a book to Hua Qingyun and told him to carefully look at who the author was. Guyu, the thought suddenly appeared in Hua Qingyan's mind. Master, did you write this book? Guyu looked slightly embarrassed, then pulled out a large stack of paper from his arms. This is the unpublished manuscript of volume. At this moment, Hua Qingyun was stunned. He never thought that the author of the novel he loved to read was right by his side and was his closest master. Then he suddenly thought of something and asked Guyu hesitantly, Master, tell me, this matter couldn't be. Before he could finish, the book flew back into Guyu's hands. He saw the corner of his master's mouth rise slightly. If you don't make it into the top 20 in this competition, you'll kill off the female lead, Xian in the next book. Hua Qingyun immediately panicked. Xian was his favorite character. Master, how can you be so rash and decide the fate of a character? Is this fair to the readers? Guyu calmly replied, and then let her be resurrected a little while later. You should take this meaningless talk lightly. This casual remark hit Hua Qingyun like a bolt of lightning. That was his second favorite character. At this moment, Hua Qingyun couldn't help but curse inwardly. This master was too despicable. The next second, he thought of a countermeasure. Master, aren't you afraid that he'll report to the sect leader that you write novels? However, Guyu was very calm. Then he'll have the protagonist's childhood friend kill her right in front of him. As soon as these words came out, Hua Qingyuan directly spat out a mouthful of old blood. Then, Guyu continued, if you can enter the top 20, I will not only spare your favorite character but also let you read the unpublished manuscript. I can even give you a limited edition and bonus chapters. Hua Qingyuan was angry, but what could he do with such a master? In the end, he could only reluctantly agree. As he walked out of the room, he ran into the disciple his master had asked him to find. He saw him darken his face and say, go to the training grounds. Paul Master wants to see you. As soon as Chu Tian entered Guyu's room, he saw him looking pensive. Just as Chu Tian was about to ask, Guyu instructed him, go to the quiet shadow peak next door and inform Yu Jianqing, who is in seclusion, that the sect competition is coming. That child seems to be engrossed in cultivation again and forgot to check her communication amulet. In a flash, Chu Tian arrived at quiet shadow peak. Just as he arrived at Yu Jiangxin's door, a powerful sword chi burst out, startling him and making him worry about Yu Jianqing. He rushed into the courtyard only to find a sword suspended in midair. Just as he was curious, Yu Jianqing appeared behind him, full of killing intent, asking Chu Tian, what did you see? The bewildered Chu Tian was frightened and stammered, Senior Sister Yu. I didn't see anything. I am an inner disciple of Lu Yun Hall. I came here on Master Gus' orders to inform you that the grand competition is approaching. Please go to the sect's main hall. Yu Jiangxin's eyes softened when she saw Chu Tian. So it's senior brother Hua's junior. You didn't see anything here, right? Chu Tian immediately indicated that he was blind and hadn't seen anything. After finishing speaking, he quickly left, but at this moment, Yu Jianqing started to blame herself. It's all my fault for being too focused on practicing swordsmanship. I didn't even know someone came in. But senior brother Hua is truly amazing. These days, I feel my understanding of the sword has deepened. If I were to fight Imo Xian's evil spirits now, I could definitely shatter them within 3 moves. In these last few days, I need to further comprehend this sword intent. By the time the sect competition arrives, they'll definitely let senior brother Hua see. On the other side, Hua Qingyuan was still agonizing over the previous matter. He had been ready to retire and live a peaceful life. Damn it! But luckily, the rules for this competition are lenient. We can use magical artifacts to achieve victory. Otherwise, using a sword would be too revealing. With this, as long as I plan carefully, entering the top 20 is a sure thing. Just then, the Tongtian mirror scattered on the table caught his attention. Just as Hua Qingyuan was about to put it away, the Tongtian mirror suddenly emitted a strange light. It'll bestow upon you everything you desire. As long as you inject spiritual energy into my body, I can give you unparalleled fortune. Whatever you wish to possess, I can bring it to you. Hearing this, Hua Qingyuan was unimpressed. He threw it to the ground. Touch me and you're dead. If you keep babbling, you'll find a chisel and carve a few holes in you. However, at this moment, the Tongtian mirror unexpectedly said to Hua Qingyuan in an unbelievable tone, remember this, I will never die. I have lived for so long, and no one has ever been able to destroy me. But Hua Qingyuan was dismissive. Just a mirror, talking big. I thought it was some powerful ancient artifact. Looking at the flickering Tongtian mirror, Hua Qingyuan was curious. What exactly are you? I am the heavenly devil, Tongtian. Hua Qingyuan's face was full of disdain. What Tongtian? Never heard of it. However, it angrily retorted. You ignorant child. Back when I followed the demon lord, I witnessed such power and prestige. Even after the nation lord's departure, everyone here must respect me as their superior. Got it. I should hold you in higher regard. You're all practically dead. Dead. Tongtian, enraged by Hua's words, cried out, how dare you disregard me? If you have the guts, then, enter my domain. Tongtian's imposing voice boomed, I will teach you a lesson in person. Hua Qingyuan's interest was piqued. He hadn't expected a hidden pocket dimension within this place. He looked at Tongtian with an intrigued expression. Tongtian, seeing this, was overjoyed. What? You dare to enter? Hua Qingyuan simply raised a finger, a clear light enveloping his body. Why not? He declared. In a blink, He found himself within Tong Tian's ethereal realm. Moments later, the colorful energy around him began to solidify, forming a partial humanoid figure. Truly a blessed individual, a voice echoed. Since you've entered, Hua Qingyuan remarked, a hint of disdain in his voice. Your name sounds grand, Tong Tian, but you look pathetic. You don't even have a proper body. Tong Tian, the revered Luo, retorted, insolent human trash. Don't speak to this Luo like that. And why are you calling yourself Demon Lord now? Silence. Tianma is a race, Mosen is a title, and Lord Tong Tian is a respectful address. Why make things so complicated? I see you're all purple, so we'll just call you Purple Boy. Oomph, address me properly. I am Lord Tong Tian. Hua Qingyuan smirked, fine, Purple Boy. That's all you can manage now, a smirk. I am the master of this space. You think you can leave so easily, and how do I leave? By making a deal with me. Riches, beauties, cultivation, longevity, eternal youth, what do you desire? Can you make me live forever and ride horses every day? Or increase my lifespan? I can't do that. Useless. Any other wishes? Maybe make Sister Shio update more frequently. I want to see. What nonsense are you talking about? Who would grant such wishes? You're so pathetic. You can't even fulfill such simple requests. You call yourself a divine dragon. You insolent brat. Since you refuse to address me properly, and won't make a deal, you'll be trapped here forever. You'll perish in fear and despair. Tong Tian roared, unleashing his full power, but to no avail. His attack seemed to flow around Hua Qingyuan, leaving him unharmed. You're tickling me, Hua Qingyuan mocked as he casually pinched Tong Tian's ethereal form. You can touch me. With your essence, I can leave, right? Hua Qingyuan inquired, feigning ignorance. You fool. To harm me, you need to comprehend the Grand Tao. Otherwise, you're powerless. Tong Tian instantly regretted his words. He hadn't realized the seemingly naive youth had grasped a sliver of the Grand Tao. In the next moment, Hua Qingyuan returned to reality, holding a shimmering fragment of Tong Tian's essence. To save his life, Tong Tian offered countless treasures and resources to Hua Qingyuan. This significantly boosted Hua Qingyuan's wealth within the sect. Meanwhile, in a secluded cave, a Qingyun sect disciple gazed into a mirror. A shadowy figure appeared within. What are our chances in the upcoming sect competition? With the secret technique you provided, reaching the top 5 shouldn't be a problem. Excellent. Thanks to your intel, I was able to retrieve the blood-burst orb. If not for your help years ago, I wouldn't be alive today. I'm willing to serve you, Master. Good. Once you secure the top spot in the competition, I will take you away from the Qingyun sect. Rest assured, Master. I will complete my mission, no matter the cost. The shadowy figure revealed a sinister smile. 2 days later, sect leader Wen Jian announced the rules of the competition. This year's competition is different. The use of talismans, pills, spirit treasures, and even external assistance is permitted. Your goal is to achieve the highest ranking. But do not intentionally harm your fellow disciples. Wen Jian waved his hand, and numerous jade slips appeared in the sky, descending towards the disciples. These jade slips contain your opponent's number. When your number is called, you will enter the arena. The first match is between Zhang Ting of the Silent Stream Hall and Bai Zhan of the Blue Moon Hall, an elder announced. What do you think of this year's inner disciples? Another elder asked. Only 1 or 2 are promising, a third elder replied dismissively. Given their cultivation, a match should last no more than an hour, Guyu interjected. Just then, Hua Qingyuan arrived to observe the matches. The competition progressed to the finals. Huan Jun was facing Yang Tai of the Yuling Hall, a close disciple of Hua Qingyuan. Observing from above, Hua Qingyuan thought, not bad. Wei Ran Shitty has truly mastered the dispersing cloud steps. On the stage, Yang Tai, a spirit cultivator with a spirit pet, had a clear advantage over Wei Ran, despite the latter's higher cultivation. I only taught him a few moves, but he's come this far. He has great potential. If he performs well, he might become a direct disciple of an elder. Yang Tai drew a talisman, giant soul-burning talisman. Someone exclaimed. It could temporarily burn one's spiritual energy and spirit stones for a powerful burst. Looks like senior brother Yang is serious. Wei Ran swallowed a purple pill. Burst Chi pill. Junior brother Wei also has a trump card. Although it's only a rank 3 pill, it can rival the giant soul-burning talisman in terms of explosive power. On the stage, both unleashed their strongest attacks. The resulting clash emitted a destructive wave of spiritual energy. Hua Qingyuan observed intently. The smoke cleared. Revealing Wei ran slightly injured. I only won by a sliver of spiritual power, Yang Tai admitted. I concede, he's truly talented. Both have the potential to become direct disciples. Now, it's your turn, Yu Xingyue, an elder said. Yu Xingyue channeled a red energy that enveloped both combatants, swiftly, restoring their strength and injuries. Yang Tai, as the top inner disciple, you can challenge a direct disciple. If you win, you'll replace them, an elder explained. Yang Tai declared, I choose Hua Qingyuan. The crowd erupted in shock. Hua Qingyuan, though a direct disciple, was ranked last among them, yet possessed the cultivation of the Qi condensation realm, 6th level. Unprecedented in the sect's history, the top inner disciple challenging the weakest direct disciple. This would be a good show. Hua Qingyuan arrived at the stage. Take care, senior brother Yang, Wei Ran said to Yang Tai. What do you mean by that? Yang Tai wondered, a sense of foreboding washing over him. Hua Qingyuan smiled enigmatically. So, Yang Tai is the top inner disciple. He can challenge any direct disciple and take their place. He chose me without hesitation, Hua Qingyuan mused. Senior brother Hua, I've long admired you. My master highly praises your conduct. We inner disciples cultivate diligently every day, striving to become direct disciples. Hua Qingyuan, seemingly bored, finished his sentence for him, and you want to take my place. Even though you're a Qingyun sect's core disciple, Yang Tai, you neglect your cultivation, lazing around instead. With your modern attitude, you don't deserve to be here. Today, I, Hua Qingyuan, will defeat you and become the new core disciple. Hua Qingyuan scattered numerous talismans. I didn't expect my refusal to fight alongside you, Yang Tai, would make you so resentful. Yang Tai launched a swift attack. Overbearing thunderbolt. But Hua Qingyuan remained calm, pinching a seal with his fingers. A red barrier instantly enveloped him, completely blocking Yang Tai's powerful strike. No matter how Yang Tai attacked, the barrier remained unshaken. Yang Tai's attack was so powerful that even the observing disciples were stunned. Elder Dong stood up abruptly, preposterous. A Qingyun sect disciple hiding behind a barrier. Unacceptable. Our sect emphasizes offense, not cowardly defense. If everyone acted like this, our sect would have perished long ago. Hua Qingyuan, however, remained unfazed, hiding within his spiritual shield. You've disgraced the Qingyun sect. Elder Dong's words sparked disagreement. Elder Dong, are you suggesting that the Qingyun sect should only focus on offense and neglect defense? If everyone fought like that, our sect would be long gone. Elder Dong was furious. How dare you? Just then, the sect leader intervened, enough. In this tournament, all methods are permitted. If Hua Qingyuan chooses this tactic, he must have his reasons. As long as he wins, it's acceptable. Meanwhile, Yang Tai gritted his teeth. Hua Qingyuan. As a core disciple, you dare not face me directly. Do you intend to hide in there forever? He leaped into the air, preparing another attack. With such disgraceful tactics, you dishonor the sect. Hua Qingyuan extended his hand from the barrier, merely rotating 2 fingers. If you desire a direct confrontation, I shall grant you your wish. He lifted his head slightly, muttering, farewell, senior brother Yang. Yang Tai, filled with confidence, sneered, please, enlighten me, senior brother. Hua Qingyuan then pulled out another talisman. As it dissipated, numerous fireballs appeared in the sky. Yang Tai was taken aback by the sheer number of fireballs. He panicked, but it was too late. With a wave of Hua Qingjian's hand, the fireballs shot forth, forming a colossal fire dragon that lunged towards Yang Tai. Left with no retreat, Yang Tai prepared for a final stand. Burning his essence blood, he channeled it into his sword, preparing for one last strike. But with the explosion, Yang Tai was blasted out of the arena, completely defeated. Who am I? Where am I? The dazed Yang Tai caused a commotion among the audience. Hua Qingyuan sighed deeply, watching him flee. I told you so, but you wouldn't listen. This also surprised the third inner disciple, Chu Xian. He hadn't left his courtyard for 6 months, spending his days reading, meditating, or sleeping, yet his cultivation had progressed significantly. From active cultivation to passive cultivation, his speed of advancement was unprecedented. Our protagonist had unexpectedly transmigrated into this cultivation world 3 years ago. This man, holding a drawing board and wearing modern clothes, was once a highly respected successful artist, but after hearing Elder Dong's praise, which is his catchphrase, and perhaps because he was too cheerful and outgoing, the system threw him into one of the 3 great warring organizations of the Qin kingdom, the Chu family. He was the th in line. His name was Chu Xian. He thought he could finally live a peaceful and carefree life. However, simply because he sneezed during a practice session, the family expelled him from the clan, claiming his behavior was inappropriate and tarnished their reputation. Are you kidding me? But in this seemingly desolate, abandoned courtyard, he unexpectedly discovered the drawing board that had transmigrated with him. Just then, a black hand quietly pushed open the door of Chu Xian's room. Who's there? Chu Xian immediately became alert. Silhouetted against the light in the doorway stood a slender figure with long white hair. Could it be a celestial being? A goddess. Just as Chu Xian's thoughts were racing, the figure turned around, revealing a surprisingly familiar voice. Hey, don't hit me on the head. Young Master 13, hurry up and eat. It was Uncle Butler, holding a tray of food. Uncle Butler told Chu Xian to eat first. He would send someone to clean up later. Looking at Chu Xian's innocent expression, Uncle Butler finally relented and explained his origins. Chu Xian's father was the 3rd son in the family. Logically, even within the Chu family, let alone the entire Qin kingdom, it would be difficult to find someone of higher status. He was Fest's most beloved son. Without incident, he would have been the next head of the Chu family. However, when it came to marriage, he disobeyed his father and married a commoner woman, Chu Xian's mother. Afterwards, Chu Xian's father began to clash with the. After Chu Xian was born, he took Chu Xian's mother and left the Chu family, disappearing without a trace. After hearing Uncle Butler's explanation, Chu Xian swallowed a piece of braised pork with a bittersweet feeling. What a bloody cliché plot. Half an hour later, he walked out of the room and looked at the servants cleaning the deserted courtyard. He suddenly felt disheartened. What paternal love, what bloody cliché. I've already thrown it to the back of my mind. Just then, the system notification sounded. Congratulations. You've stayed indoors for 1 day. System reward. Diamond Body Divine Skill. Chu Xian was startled. What? Who's talking? System, is this real? The system continued, system rewards are bound to the entire Chu residence. During your stay, the system will increase the reward level based on the cumulative duration. Leaving the reward area will reset the cumulative time. After listening to the introduction, Chu Xian's mind was blown. Such a good deal. No daily tasks needed. Just as he was getting excited, Chu Xian was woken up by the sun. I seem to have had a strange dream. Just as he was about to roll over and go back to sleep, his right hand accidentally touched a book. It clearly read Diamond Body Divine Skill. Chu Xian jolted awake. Who put this here? Seeing no one around, he picked up the book and started reading. Diamond Body Divine Skill is a top-tier defensive cultivation method in the mortal realm. Could it be that he wasn't dreaming? Chu Xian broke out in a cold sweat. In this world, cultivation is the foundation of strength. The realms are divided into body tempering, meridian opening, and qi condensation. Reaching the peak requires breaking through the profound entrance to cultivate further. Otherwise, one remains immortal. Above the mortal realm, there are the profound, spiritual, void, earth, true, and other realms. Looking at the book, Chu Xian thought, since I have to stay indoors anyway, I might as well give it a try. He sat down, focused his mind, and assumed a meditative posture. He wasn't completely clueless, having learned some meditation techniques in his previous life when he studied health preservation. Otherwise, it would be a waste of such a good opportunity. Breathing in and out, mimicking the cycle of day and night, he meditated for a whole day. Surprisingly, he didn't feel tired but more energetic. It seems cultivation methods really work in this world. Chu Xian let out a sigh, then muttered, but I still need to eat. Can't starve, can I? Looking at the systems? Second day reward, a gathering chi pill. Chu Xian immediately perked up. Then came the third day reward, a kitchen knife. Unfortunately, Chu Xian felt the kitchen knife was a bit small for cutting vegetables. The fourth day was the dragon binding rope spiritual skill. Wow, isn't this the legendary dragon binding rope? It can even bind a flood dragon. In just 4 days, Xu Xian had acquired a skill, a pill, and 2 powerful artifacts. Self-defense in this world shouldn't be a problem now. Just as Xu Xian was feeling complacent, he heard a woman's voice calling him from outside. 13th brother. Judging by the voice, it should be Xu Yun. 13th brother, you're finally here. A young woman in green appeared, her hair tied with a ribbon. Yuner, it's really you. Wasn't someone supposed to bring me food? Why are you here today? Xu Xian was overjoyed. Ever since he arrived here, besides the old housekeeper visiting him on the first day, Xu Yun was the second person to speak to him. I should have come earlier. I should have come earlier. Ever since 13th young master was assigned here, the family has been busy with matters. Only today did I have time to visit 13th young master. Xu Yun put the bamboo basket of food on the outer area of the table, slightly apologetic. My apologies for making you wait, younger sister. Don't mention it. I'll get you a chair. Xu Xian moved to fetch a chair. Watching Xu Yun, Xu Xian felt warmed. Xu Yun had always cared for him. Given a chance, he would definitely plead with grandfather to let Xu Xian return. However, Xu Xian had expressed that there was no need for such pleas. He enjoyed the solitude and the freedom from having to please others. It was quite comfortable. He's still the same 13th young master, Xu Yun thought, a gentle look on his face as he observed Xu Xian. No matter what happens, he accepts it calmly. A carefree optimist, devoid of the arrogance typical of aristocratic sons. You stayed home for 5 days. System reward. 1 year of cultivation. Amazing. This feeling, the steady flow of true qi within my body. Could I have reached the Xian gate? Have you seen a man more handsome than this? Xu Xian had accidentally let out a sneeze while practicing in his courtyard, and for this, his family accused him of improper conduct, damaging the family reputation. Yet Head made an unexpected discovery. Every day he stayed at home, Head received a reward from the system. Sometimes it was a martial arts technique, sometimes a high-quality magical tool. After 5 days, Head even been directly rewarded with a year's worth of cultivation. Just now, Xu Xian had sneezed, and the system rewarded him with another year of cultivation. He felt his internal true qi surge. He quickly focused his mind and circulated his qi, trying to control the sudden surge of powerful true qi. This generated a powerful aura, causing the surrounding objects to swirl in the air. Suddenly, Xu Xian shouted, "Great ocean breathing technique, absorb." The colorless, odorless aura around him instantly transformed into a terrifying blue. Exhaling slowly, Xu Xian collapsed onto the steps. This is the 4th time I've hit this bottleneck. I'm still stuck, but I can clearly feel the increase in my qi. I must have reached the Xian gate. Moreover, Xu Xian could faintly sense a closed door, drawing closer and becoming clearer. Alright, no rush, no rush. It's only been 6 days since I started staying home. Congratulations, you have received bewitching spell. Xu Xian sighed in resignation. Another mental technique. This system is full of surprises. If it suits me, more skills are always welcome. Xu Xian opened the bewitching spell manual, skimmed through it, and grasped the general principles and methods. Anxious to test it out, he went to the courtyard only to find it empty. Although I can't test the mind control, he thought, I can try to sense the surrounding living beings. Everything has a spirit, they say. While there are no people, there should be plenty of other life nearby. Xu Xian extended his spiritual sense. Covering a radius of 10 li, his spiritual qi swiftly searched the surroundings. Whether it was flowers, trees, insects, or birds, nothing escaped his detection. Suddenly, a pair of monkeys appeared in Xu Xian's consciousness. Hidden in a tree, they were engaged in intimate activities. Oops. Xu Xian quickly withdrew his spiritual sense. Looks like I shouldn't randomly search around. Seeing certain things can be harmful to my mental health. Looks like I shouldn't randomly search around. Seeing certain things can be harmful to my mental health. 13th young master, dinner is served. Xu Xian heard the food delivery person outside. They seemed to be earlier than usual today. Focusing his senses, something felt off. Usually, there were 2 people, but he only sensed one person's presence. Interesting. 13th young master, please enjoy your meal. Seeing the servant's forced smile and vigilant demeanor, Xu Xian's suspicions deepened. He glanced at the bamboo basket. He hadn't noticed it before, but now he saw countless goo worms hidden amidst the seemingly perfect rice. As I suspected, there's something fishy. Don't blame me for using you as my first test subject. In the eyes of others, this harmless-looking, frail young master subtly flicked his finger, almost imperceptibly. With a peerless cultivation technique at his disposal, he was being constantly provoked by a mere underling. The servant's name was Chu Yan. He had just discovered countless goo worms hidden in the food. When the servant refused to reveal the mastermind, Xu Xian used the bewitching spell. The underling immediately confessed. It turned out he was a cult member, tasked with poisoning the young master with goo worms, thus controlling him, and then reporting to the cult elder. Xu Xian was alarmed. He had to tell his grandfather immediately. But then, due to Xu Xian's distraction, Xu Yan forcibly broke free from the bewitching spell, entering an unconscious state, what's commonly known as going berserk. As he went berserk, he bared his fangs and claws, lunging at Xu Xian's handsome face. Now, Xu Xian had a golden core protecting him, so mere claws couldn't harm him. But it would be troublesome if everyone knew this servant was a cult member. One move of the flowing horsebell fist could subdue him, but it would leave physical marks. That would expose the secrets of this courtyard. And if he continued to be chased by this berserk servant, he feared he'd be exhausted and killed. Just as Xu Xian was in a dilemma, a voice called out, "13th young master, dinner is served." Saved. Xu Xian, bewildered, found himself being chased around his own courtyard by a food delivery servant who eventually crashed into a wall, falling unconscious. Moments ago, Xu Xian had discovered that the servant had tampered with his food. Using the system's newly acquired bewitching spell, he learned that the servant was a cult member. Thus, Xu Xian could easily subdue him, but he worried about exposing the courtyard's secrets. Just as Xu Xian was being chased around, shouting "Long live the evil king! Attack Nanzhou!" by the berserk servant, the two actual food delivery servants arrived at the door. What? A cult member? Is 13th young master in danger? The two rushed in. They saw 13th young master seemingly cornered, with no room to maneuver. Seeing them, Xu Xian intensified his performance of a useless, pampered young master. The two newcomers quickly subdued the cult member. Are the entry requirements for this cult really this low? Xu Xian wondered. Fearing a difficult explanation later, he quickly pretended to. Xu Xian deliberately bumped his head on the ground and immediately laid down to rest. From the disappointed expressions of the two ordinary people, it could be seen that Xu Xian had once again disappointed them. Xu Xian had never disappointed anyone in this regard. Hearing Saran leave the courtyard, Xu Xian unsurprisingly strolled over. This divinely favored waste of a person can't collapse easily. But just in case, that Xu cultist's life must end. Saying that, a sword formed from condensed spiritual energy directly struck the Xu cultist's head. Dad! The system's 6th-day reward is a great enhancement pill. This is great. Great enhancement pill is an auxiliary pill for breaking through the profound realm. It seems I've indeed reached the time to break through. This time, I must succeed. Meanwhile, the two clansmen returned to the ancestral home and reported what they saw to Chu Tianming. The next day, Chu Tianming's face was flushed with anger. Thinking of her once promising third son, Chu Luo, how excellent he was. How could he give birth to such a waste? He can't even deal with a single cultist. Have you ever seen such a ridiculous farce? Regardless of bloodline, regardless of sect, as long as they work in the ancestral home, from the rising stars of the family to the ordinary servants, everyone can participate. Just now, Xu Xian had orchestrated a thief-catching scene. After that, the family head began to suspect that there were more than just a few inner spirit cultists within the family, so he planned to hold a family martial arts tournament. Xiyu told Xu Xian all this. After hearing that, Xu Xian had encountered the cultists, Xiyu brought personally selected delicacies to visit him. After expressing his concern, he also revealed his grandfather's plan to hold the tournament with a grand prize. After leaving Chuyu's courtyard, Xu Xian greeted Chuyu and headed towards the martial arts training grounds. Suddenly, a small box marked with a large H appeared in Xu Xian's hand. Hermes. I don't believe you. This is what my father left me. They're all top quality pills. You should take a good look at these boxes. Xu Xian introduced them nonchalantly. Oh, third uncle is truly amazing. Xiu really wanted to find a hole to crawl into. Saying that, the two reluctantly bid farewell. Thank you for the pills, third uncle. I'll enjoy them. Just after sending Qingyun off, the system's daily reward arrived. Nourishing spirit pill, 1 box. This time it's a spiritual cultivation pill. The cultist matter has temporarily come to an end. I should focus on breaking through the profound realm. Seeing the reward, Qu Xian felt relieved. Elsewhere. Is this Qingyun at it again? He was knocked flying again. The on the viewing platform cheered excitedly, having become greatly entertained in just a few days. This kid's cultivation has truly improved greatly recently. His potential is limitless. The prize for this tournament goes to the true young master, Qu Xian. With the end of the next match, Ding Hua insisted on using his qi and blood to fight, while the young master insisted on not using any weapons, simply as a way of showing consideration for Ding Hua. Just what I wanted. If I can directly, for the sake of the Chu family's young master, I'll transform and go back in time to the evil king's heavenly palace. Hua instantly revealed his true form, no longer pretending. I'm done pretending. Die, brat. The fully corrupted Hua, wielding dual blades, charged towards Qu Xian. That's evil qi. How dangerous. Chu Tianming exclaimed, sure enough, there are still cultists. I submit. Clang clang, 2 sounds rang out. Qu Xian had caught the blades, his left hand pinching the blade between 2 fingers, his right hand lightly gripping the back of the other blade. May I ask Ding Hua? Which sect does this skill belong to? Which school does it originate from? Qu Xian slowly opened his eyes. You are. In front of him was the most familiar stranger. Deeply skilled. Ding Hua was probably exposed. This man had taken staying at home to the extreme. All because he had a homebody system. Not only could he obtain various cultivation resources through staying at home, but he could also quickly improve his cultivation. In this vast world of cultivation, this man's name is Qu Xian. Just now, he put himself at risk, allowing the family head who had neglected him to finally realize the presence of evil cultists within the Chu family's hidden faction. He wanted to use an unrestricted martial arts tournament to expose more accomplices. Unexpectedly, an evil cultist disguised as Hua had been hiding in the Chu family for many years. In this tournament, he encountered the young master, Qu Xian. After a single exchange, Hua was forced to reveal his true form. The weapons in his hands were also knocked away by Qu Xian. Hua was subdued and taken away for interrogation. The winner was decided. Looking at the fallen, evil cultist, Chu Tianming suddenly thought of his 13th grandson, who he used to play with. If it weren't for his reminder, those who lived in the ancestral home might have suffered misfortune. In the future. After the tournament, he must visit him. Meanwhile, at home, Qu Xian was still dedicated to his cultivation. Still haven't broken through the profound realm. Truly worthy of being the bottleneck of mortal cultivation. It's not easy. Feeling lost? First, today's reward from the system is a book. Just in time, I'm tired. Let's see what treasure it is today. Qu Xian picked up the book and flipped through it. It turned out to be an internal cultivation technique for concealing one's aura. I'll just practice this for now. Having said that, Qu Xian fell asleep. He was awakened by Qu Yu again. Yun Mei, why are you here so early? Isn't it time for breakfast yet? Qu Xian opened the moon gate with a yawn. Only to hear unexpected news from Qu Yu. It turned out that with the help of the pills Qu Xian gave him, Qu Yu's progress had been rapid, and he had already broken through to the profound realm. According to ancestral rules, he had to go down the mountain to train. Though I have many regrets, there is one thing, it's a pity that no one will accompany me to talk and eat anymore. Another uneventful day. The system still rewarded a mundane copy of Thunderclap Palm. But Qu Xian's mind was full of memories with the beautiful Qu Yu, making him melancholic. I'll slowly cultivate. I have no intention of sleeping anyway. Fortunately, through diligent cultivation, and skipping over 2 seemingly unrelated events, they should be friends coming to chat with Qu Xian, don't you think? Look, the pills this homebody casually gives away can quickly help others break through to the profound realm, yet he himself is still stuck at the profound realm, the entry level for cultivators. After much effort, he finally made some progress in his cultivation, but just as he was about to break through, he was interrupted by these 2 nameless cultivators. The duo didn't treat the place with any respect, directly landing in the middle of the courtyard, showing off their profound energy. They wondered who they were showing off to in the middle of the night. Chu Xian focused on his breakthrough. Sensed someone's arrival but wasn't sure, he could only continue his breakthrough. After all, if the process was forcibly interrupted, it would damage his progress and prevent further cultivation. At this time, the two didn't wait for anyone to greet them, completely treating the place as their own. One went to set up a soundproof formation, while the other went inside to look for someone. Arriving at Chu Xian's room, they discovered a light within and sensed the rapid flow of qi inside. Without any hesitation, they concluded that someone was breaking through to the profound realm. But then they thought, isn't this the courtyard of that useless young master? How could he be breaking through? While they were pondering, the other person who had set up the soundproof formation also arrived. Without a word, he was about to use his hidden weapon to probe, but was stopped by his elder brother. The reason was that they needed to capture Chu Xian alive. A minute later, they would regret this decision. Looking at the window again, the elder brother whispered, "Why isn't there any movement? Has he succeeded in his breakthrough?" What was even more terrifying was that not only was there no movement, but they couldn't even sense his qi anymore. The elder brother was filled with apprehension. The younger brother, however, didn't believe it. Playing tricks. "I'm not afraid." He kicked open the door and rushed inside, shouting, "Chu family's waste, are you there? Your grandpas are here, and you don't even come out to greet us." Boom! A flash of lightning and thunder. It was precisely because of this sentence that tragedy struck. Seeing his younger brother collapse on the ground, the elder brother rushed forward to check on him. Then, "If you have the guts, come out and fight Unknown. Don't tell me who you are." "Of course, I'm the owner of this courtyard. It's you who came here uninvited in the middle of the night. Shouldn't you introduce yourselves?" Saying that, a figure emerged from the darkness within the room, a figure clad in white, gradually becoming clearer until finally, a face that the elder brother would remember for the rest of his life appeared. This homebody had perfected the art of disguise. He clearly possessed a realm above the profound realm, yet in the eyes of outsiders, he was still a useless wastrel. Finally having the chance to show off his skills, he didn't need to worry about how to clean up the mess. Just now, having practiced thunderclap palm, Chu Xian, striking while the iron was hot, finally broke through to the profound realm. He was just looking for an opportunity to practice, and these two had delivered themselves to his doorstep. Before they even met, the younger brother, with his sharp tongue, became a test subject. Seeing the situation turn sour, the elder brother turned and ran. How could Chu Xian let this opportunity to test his results slip away? With a simple move, horse stance fist, he reunited the two. But the next problem arose. A moment of excitement, a lifetime of cleaning. How was he going to clean up this bloody mess in the courtyard? He couldn't wait until tomorrow to call the servants. Burying them himself wasn't an option either, as he still needed to continue living here. Just as he was at a loss, the system notification sounded. Ding! Repelled intruders. Reward. Spirit cleansing flower, 1 seed. In the corner of the courtyard, a green plant resembling a stoneflower bloomed. Before Chu Xian could react, gulp gulp. A series of swallowing sounds echoed, and in the blink of an eye, the courtyard was spotless, as if nothing had happened. How cruel. How clean. Chu Xian, who was speechless from shock, didn't know whether to be scared or happy. He could only rejoice that this flower acknowledged him as its master. Following that, the reward was 2 profound essence pills. It seemed that the recent tournament had dealt a heavy blow to the evil cultists hidden within the Chu family, forcing them to act rashly. There might be more retaliatory actions in the future. Fortunately, he had successfully broken through to the profound realm at the last moment, but he felt that the approaching danger was far faster than his own improvement. It seemed he still needed. Gotta cultivate quickly. Han Ziyi's ashes had already dispersed the poisonous cloud here. The system rewarded him with a full tank of premium oil. Maintaining ping qi is also important. But what's more crucial is the nascent inner world that has appeared. Have you ever seen how the Chu family, one of the 3 great families of Qing Kingdom, drinks tea? That's right, just now, Chu Xian discovered that his inner world had manifested. When he willed a small forest into existence, the system generously rewarded him with a cultivation manual, Russianshu, focused on external defense and internal spiritual fortitude. Perfect for enhancing his inner world. Could it be that this system uses AI? Every arrangement is so suitable, even more so than what I could have planned myself. It knows exactly which stage of cultivation I'm at. It can even predict my needs. Even within the Earth realm, the Russianshu is an unparalleled defensive technique, perfect for defending against the heretic cult's burgeoning activities. Patriarch. Patriarch. A messenger flew down from the mountain. The scene shifts to the Chu family estate's entrance. A servant arrives, looking flustered. What? Steward Su was startled. Chu Tianming's face darkened. The servant continued his report. The Chu family's rear mountain was attacked. We're still assessing the damage. The list of attackers is still being compiled. My heretic cult. Committing such atrocities. Unforgivable. Elder Chu slammed his fist, his face filled with rage. This time, I, Chu Tianming, will personally lead the charge. We will unite the three great families of Qing Kingdom and eradicate the heretic cult. We'll see how much longer they can run rampant. Back in Chu Xian's courtyard, Chu Yun's sweet voice called out. 13th brother. Chu Xian rose to greet her with a loving hug. Yuner, you're back so soon. Yes. I missed 13th brother, so I came back early. Chu Yun. At some point, had brewed a pot of tea and offered it to Chu Xian. 13th brother, have a taste. Did you encounter anything unusual down the mountain? Chu Xian didn't want tea. He wanted a hug. It'll get cold, drink it quickly. Chu Yun, with a strange glint in her eye, poured the scalding tea directly onto Chu Xian's face. The startled Chu Xian cried out, what the? Ha! It was just a dream. Yuner came to see me in my dream. As the old saying goes, in dreams, there's only you and me. We can do whatever we want. But how did it turn into? Wait a minute, this burning sensation isn't tea, is it? You, who are you? Father, detecting your suppressed desires, I'm rewarding you with a heavenly spirit cat to relieve your stress. That sounds nice, but are you worried it'll die of fright? Not frustration. The soul unsettled Chu Xian was startled, but, this little guy peed on my face the first day. I guess it'll become a regular occurrence. It'll be peeing on me every day. I've got to train it properly. Looking at the adorable creature. Chu Xian concentrated. Watch closely. This fist-sized kitten, in less than 2 days, transformed into a small leopard. This is Chu Xian's inner world. You think, this is big enough. In the infinitely expanding spatial realm, it's but a drop in the ocean. Chu Xian surveyed the vast, boundless spiritual river within him. Whoa! Does it have to be this big? I just thought there was nothing here, and now there's this thing. Could there be unidentified flying objects in my inner world too? And they're coming in groups. Chu Xian was bewildered by a mass of white, unknown objects. Before he could react, he realized it wasn't an unidentified object invading his inner world, but something from his real surroundings. Entering it. The heavenly spirit cat was, ruthlessly clawing at Chu Xian's face. As expected. My retribution for teasing the kitten has arrived. A joke. I, the esteemed 13th young master, can't be defeated by a mere cat. Chu Xian grabbed the heavenly spirit cat by the scruff of its neck, and unleashed a torrent of words. For the 109th time, don't think you can do whatever you want just because you're cute and can act innocent. From now on. When I'm cultivating, don't. Before Chu Xian could finish, the heavenly spirit cat pointed behind him. Woof. Woof. It was a playful puppy. Oh, I forgot it's playtime. Sorry. After all, a man without playtime is no man at all. Ha ha. Chu Xian awkwardly reached out to pet the puppy. Meow. An apology is enough. Let this be a lesson to you. Speak, just a little playtime with the puppy. With the promise of playtime, the heavenly spirit cat finally calmed down, content to be a pampered pet. Chu Xian could only express his admiration. With playtime, this cat won't even glance at me. It said it was my familiar, but now it's completely ignoring me. Poof. A persistent knocking interrupted his thoughts. Hey, who is it? They never knock. I told them to just barge in. 13th brother, infamous for his unpredictable behavior, wasn't the type to announce himself. Fine. Someone knocking this persistently can't be a bad guy. Coming. A familiar face appeared. 13th brother, Sujio greets you. I hope you're well. Big brother. Chu Xian could hardly believe his eyes. He remembered Yu Mei saying Chu Qing would visit him. He hastily invited his brother in for tea. Zhang Fei. Big brother, I should have visited you sooner, but I've been so busy. This time, if it weren't for your discovery of the heretic cult's plot, the entire Chu family, all 300 of us, would still be in the dark. If they had attacked, the consequences would have been disastrous. Chu Qing's words were filled with gratitude, making Chu Xian a little embarrassed. It was nothing, really, I didn't do much. You're exaggerating, big brother. They talked, and Chu Xian learned that Chu Qing had come to invite him down the mountain to represent the Chu family, joining forces with the Dazhou and ZUSX, to suppress the heretic cult. The more they talked, the more excited Chu Xian became. This way, he'd not only be safe but also earn merits and achievements. When we return, grandfather will be so pleased he might even lift my confinement as the 13th brother. Chu Xian was reluctant to leave the comfort of his courtyard. That's no problem. If 13th brother wants to go, I can ask grandfather. He'll even vouch for you. Chu Qing assured him confidently. Chu Xian appreciated his brother's kindness, but still felt uneasy. When I can truly descend the mountain, I will avenge my past humiliations. There's no rush. Chu Xian put on a brave face, uttering these grand words. Chu Qing blushed with shame. I didn't expect 13th brother to have such lofty ambitions. I underestimated you, thinking these petty schemes would appease you. They said their goodbyes. Phew. The performance is over. The bluff worked. No officials barged in. Chu Xian breathed a sigh of relief. Walking back to his courtyard, Chu Qing reflected on 13th brother's words. That ambition was something he himself had always desired. From the shadows, a figure observed everything. It's Chu Qing. No wonder those two brats disappeared. He helped them. After I deal with that waste inside, they'll take care of you. Have you met the self-proclaimed best tracker in the world? A man specializing in the art of tracking and stealth, so arrogant that he declared no one in the three realms could detect him. This observer was named Lu Chang. Having just reached the 3rd level of spirit refinement, he was already the heretic cult's vice branch master. As Chu Qing walked away, a figure leaped from a tree. Maybe I overdid it back to the shadows. He hadn't had a chance to fully display his skills, and his meticulously gathered data was now useless. Despite this awkwardness, it didn't affect his stylish landing, as there were no witnesses. He started to ponder. Although the target in the courtyard is a waste, he is Chu Tianming's son. If he dies, that old ghost won't be happy. Besides, what if Chu Chilua isn't dead? When he returns to the Chu family, and finds out his son was driven out by Chu Tianming and then killed, will he remain in the family? I could even control him, use him to infiltrate the Chu family's ancestral home. He. Delicious. Even the heavens are helping me. Move. After resting, he leaped onto the wall and, like a white shadow, slipped into the courtyard. Seeing his target again, he hid behind a pillar, to observe and satisfy his voyeuristic tendencies. His 3rd level of spirit refinement wasn't impressive, certainly not worthy of a vice branch master. But when it came to tracking, he was unmatched. Not even a 5th level spirit refinement expert could detect him. His position as vice branch master was due to this skill. Without exaggeration. If he willed it, no one in the 3 realms could find him. Little did he know, a heavenly spirit cat was stealthily observing him from behind. What's this idiot doing? Making so much noise, disturbing my beauty sleep. Lu Chang was conflicted about using his tracking skills, as the courtyard seemed unguarded. He'll just do it directly then. He formed a hand seal. A sinister, ghostly chain materialized, and flew into the courtyard with a whistling sound. No. A cry echoed from within. Lu Chang, waiting outside, rushed in. It was Chu Xian, the waste, his face streaked with tears, trapped by the sinister ghostly chains, collapsing heavily to the ground, unable to move. How could he escape my soul-snatching chain? This is too easy. Lu Chang, who was just gloating, suddenly noticed that Chu Xian seemed to be shrinking. Worried he might use some shrinking technique to escape, a loud bang erupted, followed by billowing white smoke. Chu Xian vanished. Lu Chang was dumbfounded. This isn't scientific. Lu Chang's expression changed from shock to disbelief. He didn't just vaporize, did he? A technique he, a third-level spirit refinement cultivator, couldn't grasp. How could this waste? Before he could ponder further, a white shadow, faster than his own, flashed past, slamming him into the wall. Lu Chang, now sprawled in the corner, his face a mess of scratches, mumbled, "Damn cat." Chu Xian paused by his sister's spinning top, checking for any sounds outside. Hearing nothing, he cautiously pushed the door open. A cold sweat trickled down his spine. That little thief is surprisingly quick with her tiny hands. That flower's terrifying from the moment it's summoned. You can't blame this handsome guy for being so wary. If one day it turned on me, I could only accept my fate. The Sky Spirit Cat formation, haven't heard of it. It must be a recently developed technique. But what about this guy? Letting him go, or handing him over to the Chu family? Are both bad options for me? Ah, right, the devouring bloom. Time to work. The starving devouring bloom shot out instantly. Opening its gaping maw, the grotesque flower dramatically indicated the direction of its food. Target locked. Soon, Chu Xian watched with satisfaction as the devouring bloom burped contentedly beside him. Alright, let's see what secrets this guy is hiding. Why are these cultists always targeting me? It's a legendary treasure of the Extinction Sect. Once summoned, it instantly devours surrounding spiritual energy. Truly a terrifying existence. It's called the Devouring Bloom. The ultimate weapon of this Shutan, Chu Xian. He's currently sensing what the bloom just consumed. The memories of the vice leader's past life, the old woman who poisoned the food, the two bumbling fools who tried to release poison smoke in the night, and the final image is that the scouts haven't returned. I'll go myself. Chu Xian was deeply moved. This fearsome extinction sect is surprisingly amateur. Even a vice leader only travels with a single bodyguard. Pathetic. He sighed. Jiang Li is here. Last time it was the devouring bloom, this time it's Jiang Li's soul imprint technique. He returned to his room. Closing his eyes, Chu Xian's inner landscape reappeared. The landmass had grown larger and more irregular, likely due to his recent intensive training. But other than that, it was still empty. Does this mean my cultivation potential is vast? Regardless, I can feel my mental strength increasing. He looked at the faint lines on his palm transforming into the foresight diagram head practiced. These two new techniques. Chu Xian pondered. I can't test the soul imprint yet, but the foresight diagram. If I can reach the Earth realm soon, even if the cult attacks again, we'll be fully prepared. True strength comes from continuous cultivation. I must train harder. In a distant cave, the extinction sect plotted against the Chu family. Why hasn't Vice Leader Lu Chang returned? One said. Some say he was discovered by the Chu family. Another countered, there are no signs of a struggle at the Chu residence. Could he have defected? Impossible. Who would trust a cultist? Besides, betrayal never ends well. A foppish man interjected, Lu Chang is waiting for the perfect opportunity to release the poison. Smoke into the Chu family's core. A scarred man impatiently interrupted, just attack the royal court. Force them to send their strongest warriors, but my beloved disagrees. She believes humiliating the Chu family is far more satisfying than a simple assault. He preened, imagining his importance. The royal court would never respect us otherwise. Enough. The cult leader, perched on a crag, declared, contact Lu Chang. Tell him to act immediately. Also, Xu Tianming, that old fool, assigned his grandson, Xu Qing, to this operation. He wants to use our cult to boost Xu Qing's reputation. I'll show him reputation. He sneered. Inform everyone. Find Xu Qing. I will personally end his life. Disperse. The three departed. I don't know Lu Chang's exact location. Since he's operating alone, there's no contact point. I can only use the single-use soul bamboo slip. It's one way. I can confirm it's sent, but I can't receive a reply. Brother Lu, if you receive this, please act immediately. Chu Xian arrived at the dining hall, marveling at the exquisite dishes. He asked the servant if there was a special occasion. Master is celebrating. Our family's operation against the cult was a huge success. So fast. This man possesses exceptional skills yet willingly remains a prisoner. He's seen as a harmless fool, but he possesses a secret. As long as he stays home, he has access to countless techniques and artifacts. The man's name is Chu Xian. He overheard the servants discussing the Chu family's successful operation against the cult. He felt uneasy. How could it be so fast? Back in the familiar cave, the foolish vice leader, Lu Chang, had yet to receive a reply. He should have received the message, Dao Ba, fingering his bone knife, muttered. At least it proves he hasn't defected. The foppish man disagreed. It's too quiet. There's been no conflict at the Chu residence. Their leader spoke, his face obscured by shadows. Forget Lu Chang. This joint operation has severely weakened us. It's a setback. The four void reverence elders grieved deeply, stroking their beards. Half our losses are due to the Chu family. They are indeed formidable. We will avoid them for now, but report their actions to the evil king. Let him deal with them. Our priority is to target other families. In 3 days, it's the He family's turn. What? The He family was attacked by the cult. Chu Xian, startled, quickly grabbed another piece of meat. The servant continued, the He family residence was poisoned. Not only did they suffer casualties, but a third of their land is now barren. Even the spirit birds are dead. Chu Xian chewed thoughtfully. 3 days ago, the cult was celebrating. Their revenge was swift and brutal. Elsewhere, a messenger rushed to the Chu Patriarch. The reinforcements have returned. The captured cultists are on their way back. Chu Tianming beamed. Excellent. Double the patrols and guards. We must not repeat the He family's mistakes. The servant continued his report. We've added guard posts and increased patrols from every 3 hours to every 2. Relieved, Chu Tianming asked about his grandson. Where's Chu Qing? Young Master Chu led the charge and is currently returning. He should be safe, escorted by our void reverence elders. Chu Tianming finally relaxed. But we initiated this operation. Why target the He family instead of us? Have they already attacked us? Has anyone heard anything? Meanwhile, Chu Xian worried about the Chu family's security. Don't worry, young master. Most of our experts have returned. A sneak attack is unlikely now. Besides, this operation was a huge success. We killed or captured over 60% of their forces in Qingpa City. Their foundation is shaken. His mother's confident voice echoed through the courtyard. Right. Big brother is amazing. No one will bother me anymore. Realizing her slip, she quickly added, or infiltrate us. Chu Xian, amused, agreed. Yes, things have calmed down. 6 months passed. Remember this beautiful bird. He's now called Little Black. Is he performing aerial acrobatics? No, he just failed to catch a bug and got stuck. Little Black glared at his captor, meow. I let you go on purpose. Chu Xian chuckled. Don't be angry, Little Black. I may have had my eyes closed, but I've reached the void reverence realm. I can sense everything within 100 miles. You can't fool me. Smirking, Chu Xian turned, about to strike a cool pose, when he saw something he shouldn't have. Past the gate, through the bamboo grove and forest, 2 figures came into view. Oh, my darling Wei, if love is a poison, you are my addiction. Without you, I am lost. A greasy man crooned, his face plastered with a sickly sweet expression. The woman giggled. You're so bad. I was a lonely iceberg, but you melted me with your fiery passion. Encouraged, the man went further. I was a bird in a gilded cage, but you set me free. What followed is best left undescribed. Represented by this peaceful landscape. Are they expired dogs and wolves? Stupid wax swallows. Eating something that tastes like vomit, last time. This time is even more disgusting. Spare me. Chu Xian's disguise technique wasn't perfected yet, unable to fully conceal himself. And that old seventh, Qi clearly knew it, but still came to disgust him. Unbearable. Chu Xian couldn't tolerate it. Gathering qi at his fingertips, he flicked a tree branch towards Qi. A surge of spiritual energy nearly made Qi stumble. However, the woman in the throes of passion mistook it for a playful gesture from Qi, excitedly shouting, "Oh yeah!" After looking around and finding nothing amiss, and to avoid ruining the mood. Qingyun quickly explained, "Hey, just now, you made me feel the pain of love." Then he pouted his lips. The woman, clearly already lost in the moment, dismissed it with a whatever, closed her eyes, and leaned in for a kiss. At this moment, what could be more important than the present pleasure? The woman's words said one thing, but her body said another. Truly, the hypocrisy of humans knows no bounds. Meanwhile, the battle-crazed Qingyun showed no signs of stopping. "Hey, let our hearts be closer. Don't let this demonic formation separate us. Let the wonderful passion explode completely. I can't take it anymore. You forced me to do this." Chu Xian unleashed a punch, creating waves of energy, each stronger than the last. Qingyun and his partner were suddenly struck by this unexpected surge. "My chrysanthemum. Ouch. Help. There's a ghost. It must be a cultist. We must have been betrayed by the Black Moon Tower." Qingyun, while clutching his rear, ran back. Finally having some peace, Chu Xian made an obscene gesture towards Qingyun retreating. Figure. Head, what a nuisance. Sitting on a tree branch, Chu Xian felt like he'd lost half his life. He planned to take a good nap. Xiao He, having improved considerably, jumped down from a tree. Xiao He taunted Chu Xian, "You're quite ruthless. That scream just now was truly heartbreaking to listen to." "Shut up, Xiao He. Whose side are you on? The damage I suffered is no less than his. Mental damage, do you understand?" However, Qingyun's fleeing words about the Black Moon Tower caught Chu Xian's attention. "I seem to have read about the Black Moon Tower in a book. They're not a small organization. Why would he mention them?" For half a year, Chu Xian hadn't left his courtyard, spending his days reading, teasing Xiao He, or sleeping soundly. Yet, his cultivation had advanced rapidly, reaching the void spirit realm. The speed was unprecedented. This homebody cultivation method. Just now, he had merged his spiritual consciousness with the void, effortlessly teaching Qingyun a lesson. This confirmed that he had indeed broken through to the void spirit realm. Chu Xian finally felt he had some means of self-preservation within the Qin kingdom. Thanks to his homebody lifestyle, he had accumulated numerous rewards. Even facing a peak void spirit realm cultivator, he wasn't afraid. After all, he cultivated the earth scripture. Ding! His half-year rewards had arrived. Heavenly Extreme Blade Scripture, a supreme blade technique, surpassing even the earth scripture. Whether he understood it or not, he left it to the system to comprehend. Now he was no longer afraid of idleness. Time flew by, and it was time for his meal delivery. He learned that the evil cult had suffered heavy losses and gone underground, causing significant damage to the Chu family. Especially half a month ago, a void spirit realm elder of the Chu family had been ambushed and killed. It was suspected that the evil cult paid a high price to the Black Moon Tower for information on the elders' movements, enabling them to set up the ambush. Again, the Black Moon Tower. Black Moon Tower. I need to investigate. Is this Black Moon Tower truly that formidable? Why would they betray us? Young master, don't you know? The Black Moon Tower is the most mysterious organization in the southern region. As long as you pay the price, you can buy any information, commission any task, or purchase any treasure from the Black Moon Tower. Even if the Chu family knew that the Black Moon Tower leaked the elders' information, they wouldn't dare to retaliate. The Black Moon Tower is too powerful, too mysterious, and the Chu family also acquires necessary resources from the Black Moon Tower. Buying information on a Chu family elder would require a hefty price from the evil cult. The Black Moon Tower sets high prices. The Chu family also wants to buy information on the evil cult, but the price is too high, not worth it. Otherwise, they would have eradicated the evil cult long ago. The Black Moon Tower seemed to intentionally raise prices to maintain a balance of power. If one side completely won, how would the Black Moon Tower continue to profit? It's even rumored that some wars and conflicts are orchestrated by the Black Moon Tower. Everyone knows the Black Moon Tower is powerful, but because it's so mysterious, and so strong, no one in the southern region knows its headquarters location. No power or dynasty dares to destroy the Black Moon Tower. Historically, a powerful dynasty once destroyed the Black Moon Tower within its borders, but within half a year, that dynasty collapsed, and the Black Moon Tower was rebuilt. This Black Moon Tower is too formidable. On one hand, they promised the Qin royal family and the three great families that as long as the price was right, they wouldn't accept commissions from the evil cult in the near future. On the other hand, they hinted that if the evil cult offered a high enough price, they would still accept their commissions, because it's too mysterious, too powerful. No one in the southern region knows its headquarters location. No power or dynasty dares to destroy the Black Moon Tower. This wasn't gossip, but information from the food delivery servant. Chu Xian expressed his concerns about the evil king body. The news was that the Qin kingdom had commissioned the Black Moon Tower to monitor the evil king Boda's movements. Once the evil king body attracted powerful individuals, they would receive immediate updates. Since the Qin kingdom had a plan, Chu Xian needn't worry about the evil king body attracting powerful enemies. The evil king body had many enemies. If powerful cultivators were dispatched, even if the Qin kingdom couldn't handle them, they could ask for help. Chu Xian was more concerned about the Black Moon Tower profiting from both the Qin kingdom and the evil king body. Unfortunately, he couldn't do anything about it. Better to continue cultivating at home. Chu Tianming seemed to have forgotten him. Every day, besides the food delivery servant, no one else came. The 7th month. Chu Xian's cultivation reached the 3rd level of the Void Spirit realm. Practicing the basic swordsmanship daily, his cultivation speed soared. Ding! You've signed in for 7 months. Reward. Small formation technique and formation disc refinement method. Chu Xian was overjoyed. He knew that in the southern region, formation techniques were extremely rare. Those who could set up formations were undoubtedly true spirit realm experts. Formation disc refinement required the Earth Profound realm. Chu Xian's understanding was that the southern region was too backward. Even 0 lacked formation techniques and formation discs. Chu Xian mastered the small formation technique and formation disc refinement method and realized he didn't need true spirit realm cultivation. With his current cultivation, he could also refine formation discs. The lower the cultivation, the weaker the refined formation disc. It seemed the reason why the southern region lacked formation knowledge was indeed its backwardness, or a disruption in its inheritance. The formation disc had 5 small flags, representing metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. Chu Xian set up the formation in the courtyard. Without activating it, the courtyard appeared normal. But once activated, Chu Xian was confident that even an Earth Profound Realm cultivator would be trapped. This gave Chu Xian more confidence. As long as those who came weren't above the 4th level of the Earth Profound Realm, he wouldn't need to worry. The 1-year deadline was approaching. And Chu Xian was full of anticipation. The 1-year reward would definitely be extraordinary, surpassing Earth Scripture. After all, he had already reached the Void Spirit Realm and obtained the Heavenly Extreme Blade Scripture. Chu Xian silently prayed, the 1-year reward should at least be Heaven Scripture level, right? A few days before the 8-month mark, shocking news shook the Chu family. Chu Qing, along with 3 Chu family elders and a patriarch, were ambushed and killed by the evil cult. The long-standing grudge deepened. The Chu family lost a 3rd-level Void Spirit Realm elder. Chu Tianming was furious. Even in his courtyard, Chu Xian could hear Chu Tianming's roar. Chu Qing was his most valued and nurtured successor, the next Chu family head. Chu Qing had performed exceptionally well in handling the evil cult. Once Chu Qing grew stronger, not only could he stabilize the Chu family's position, but he could also elevate it further. This insidious evil cult dared to have such wicked thoughts towards a useless young master. Truly deserving of their name. The moment Chu Qing was assassinated, everyone immediately suspected the Black Moon Tower of selling information. After the incident, everyone around Chu Qing was thoroughly investigated for connections to the Black Moon Tower. Even if they couldn't touch the Black Moon Tower, they could at least eliminate a few pawns. Chu Tianming, filled with rage, left the Chu residence, personally taking action against the evil cult. The family's protective formation wasn't deactivated, as it required an expert to maintain. Chu Tianming's departure significantly weakened the Chu family's defenses. Even some Void Spirit Realm elders had left. With Chu Cheng dead, Xu Yun, who was also deeply loved by Chu Tianming, might become the next target. Chu Xian couldn't help but worry about Xu Yun. With Chu Tianming gone, the Chu family appeared vulnerable at this moment. Chu Xian even suspected this was a diversionary tactic. However, Chu Tianming wouldn't act so rashly against the Chu clan. Since he dared to leave the main residence, it means the Chu clan has a peerless expert protecting it. The Chu clan's ability to stand strong for so long must be due to their profound foundation. Chu Xian couldn't access such information. As Chu Xian's cultivation improved, with Chu Tianming away, the heretical sex experts were likely to attack again. Once night fell, Chu Xian activated the small martial formation. The courtyard seemed ordinary, but stepping inside would trap anyone. With this formation, even during a fight, the commotion wouldn't spread, preventing his strength from being revealed. After Chu Tianming left, Chu Xian didn't know his plans against the heretical sect. My 8-month reward has arrived. The month reward was here. Since it was an earth-grade weapon, even a low-grade earth-grade weapon was far superior to a treasured weapon. The 1,000 shekels net wasn't an offensive or defensive weapon, but one of binding and sealing. With it, Chu Xian felt more confident. Even if a void refining realm expert attacked, with the small martial formation and the 1,000 shekels net, he could trap them, giving him ample time to recover and kill them. A few peaceful days passed. Then, 2 figures silently entered the Chu clan's grounds. A man and a woman, both at the 2nd level of the void refining realm. Heretical sect elders. The woman, Zhu Yan, had a voluptuous figure, but a hideous face. The clothes we got from spending a fortune at the flower pavilion are amazing. We're finally here. They reached the outskirts of Chu Xian's courtyard. Living there was Chu Qingyuan's son. Zhu Yan stared at the courtyard, a perverse thought emerging. Look! This lecherous woman from the heretical sect actually wanted to bear Chu Xian's child. She was Zhu Yan. Seeing Chu Qingyuan's son still single, a bold idea arose. Beside her was the elder, Zhu Chang. Noticing Zhu Yan's increasingly lewd and perverse expression, Zhu Chang felt disgusted. What wicked scheme is she plotting now? Focus on the mission. Don't mind Chu Qingyuan's son, I have an idea. Zhu Yan's eyes gleamed with evil. What if I bore a grandchild for Chu Qingyuan and a great-grandchild for Chu Tianming's old ghost? How exciting! Zhu Chang's heart sank. This woman was too wicked. Zhu Yan's smile grew more perverse. Would the Chu clan kill me? Or Chu Qingyuan's son? What if Chu Qingyuan returned? Zhu Chang shuddered, imagining the scene. If this happened, the Chu clan's face would be lost. What would Chu Qingyuan and Chu Tianming do? For some reason, he felt a strange anticipation. Focus on the mission. Don't create trouble. Though anticipating, Zhu Chang advised against it. We're here. Let's capture Chu Qingyuan's son. If exposed, we'll have a hostage. He walked towards the courtyard. Will the Black Moon Tower sell us out? It seems safer to have a hostage. Zhu Chang followed cautiously. Humph. How could those greedy bastards at the Black Moon Tower betray us? Zhu Yan sneered. Only when the Chu clan suffers heavy losses can they sell their intel for a higher price. Zhu Chang agreed. If not for the Black Moon Tower's support, the heretical sect would have been eradicated long ago. The Black Moon Tower, for maximum profit, had secretly manipulated countless matters. Even the heretical king's court was wary of them. The 2 figures entered Chu Xian's courtyard. This man had no sense of danger. He was actually meditating in the courtyard. Chu Xian, sensing intruders, sighed. More heretical sect idiots. Why always target me? Zhu Yan and Zhu Chang easily entered, spotting Chu Xian. What a handsome boy. Chu Qingyuan's son. Zhu Yan's eyes lit up, her smile turning sinister. Ha! Chu Xian frowned. This voluptuous but hideous woman, what strange cultivation made her so foolish? Come with me, little one. I'll treat you well and give you many children. Zhu Yan reached for Chu Xian with a lecherous grin. Damn you. Chu Xian was disgusted. Goosebumps covered his skin. Old hag, die. He unleashed the splitting thunder finger. Zhu Yan, sparking with electricity, was riddled with holes. Zhu Chang felt a chill. So terrifying. How young is he? More terrifying than Chu Qingyuan. I must escape. He retreated rapidly. Boom. He found himself surrounded by killing intent, completely disoriented. He couldn't reach the courtyard's entrance. Zhu Chang cursed inwardly. A formation. Does the Chu clan have a true expert? Is Chu Qingyuan back? The thought of that monstrous talent, the most gifted in Qin history, terrified him. He knew he was doomed. So be it. He released his demonic flame, but a large hand grabbed him. Chu Xian, sitting above him, looked down at the captured Zhu Chang. Zhu Chang noticed Zhu Yan's riddled corpse being devoured by a strange flower. He felt fear. The flower seemed to be eyeing him next. Something's wrong with the Chu clan. Why is Hua Qingyuan's son so strong? Are they hiding their true power? He struggled. You heretical sect pests keep bothering me. Xu Xian, without wasting words, used the soul imprint on Zhu Chang. Xu Chang realized he felt no hostility towards Xu Xian, despite wanting to kill him. He was conscious and clear-headed, yet felt no animosity or resistance. Even if Xu Xian killed him, he wouldn't resist. He'd offer his neck willingly. Using the soul imprint for the first time, Xu Xian was excited. He could sense Xu Chang's state and how he died. The soul imprint's uniqueness made Xu Xian wonder if he could use it as a conduit, sending a strand of his spiritual will through it. Knowing a strand of his will leaving the courtyard would break his record, Xu Xian dismissed the idea. He wouldn't risk resetting his hard-earned time. After questioning Zhu Chang about their plans, Xu Xian learned the heretical sect planned to release demonic smoke within the Chu clan. Demonic smoke, far more potent than poison smoke or fire, was extremely difficult to remove. Its cost was 10 times higher, and if anyone below the profound realm inhaled it, they'd descend into madness. Releasing it within the Chu clan grounds would cause significant casualties. The Chu clan members were carefully selected, talented, and loyal. Heavy losses would be devastating. Demonic smoke, refined from demonic qi, was highly polluting. Even heretical cultivators below the spirit realm avoided it. The heretical sect was ruthless this time. Xu Xian forced his will onto Zhu Chang, ordering him to return to the heretical sect's base and release the demonic smoke, attacking their experts without revealing anything about the Chu clan. After implanting his will, he released Zhu Chang. Zhu Chang was devastated. He was conscious and aware, but couldn't resist the implanted will. He appeared normal, showing no signs of control. Finished. He knew he was doomed. The Chu clan was terrifying. This hidden base was the heretical sect's third. They changed locations regularly. Few knew the location, not even some elders. Damn it. I didn't join to be a pawn. Cultivators in righteous sects have it easier. They moved to avoid the Chu clan and the Black Moon Tower. Staying in one place made them vulnerable to the Black Moon Tower, which might sell their information to the Chu clan. To prevent this, they relocated frequently. Only the sect leader, vice leader, and a few elders knew the location, minimizing the risk of spies. The Qin Kingdom's heretical sect vice leader, Wang Tu, sat with Tang Ting, yawning. You're discussing in secret while I'm here. Do you think I'm dead? What about the Chu clan? Wait till Zhu Chang returns. Before he could finish, disciples at the cave entrance reported that Vice Leader Wang Tu of the Qin Kingdom's heretical sect and Dharma Protector of the Ziyu Kingdom's heretical sect had arrived. Wang Tu wondered what wind had blown them here. It turned out they came bearing gifts and congratulations for Wang Tu's promotion and new residence. An elder, never one to miss a good show, chimed in, such kind words. Isn't it true you heard Zhu Chang and Zhu Yan went to the Chu clan to release demonic smoke and came to hear the juicy details? TSK, such high-ranking officials as the vice leader and Dharma protector had to come personally. The heretical sect truly treats you like workhorses. Shameful. Wang Tu waved his hand dismissively, but it was too late to stop the elder. Whether Head intentionally loosened his control or not, the embarrassed vice leader and Dharma protector could only praise Wang Tu. Sect leader Wang Tu's subordinates are truly outspoken. Such loyal followers are rare these days, the kind you lose one and can't replace. Wang Tu gave a wry smile and said nothing more. By the way, sect leader Wang Tu, there's still no news of Zhu Chang and Zhu Yan. The vice leader, ever magnanimous, broke the awkward silence. Although it's been a while since that Chu Tianming isn't around, there shouldn't be any major issues. However, compared to them, I'm more curious about the Dharma Protector's visit. Perhaps you could elaborate. It's a long story. The Qin Kingdom's military is jointly controlled by 4 families. In most cases, they govern their own territories. But our Ziyu Kingdom is different. The Ziyu Kingdom's royal family, the powerful Wang clan, firmly controls Ziyu. Therefore, we immediately concentrated a portion of our forces and launched a swift attack, annihilating one of our branches. Sect leader Duo Zhu, a blood condensation stage 4 cultivator, and several elders were all killed. That's why I'm here, to seek revenge on the Chu clan. Brother Wang Tu, what do you say to joining forces and killing that old ghost Chu Tianming? Wang Tu scoffed. If the heretical sect had the power to kill Chu Tianming, would they still be sucking up to the other 2? He's the head of one of the three great families of the Qin Kingdom, with half-step spirit-severing stage cultivation and life-saving treasures. Unless a spirit-severing stage expert attacks, who can kill him? The Qin Kingdom only has one spirit-severing stage 1 cultivator in the Qin family. To kill Chu Tianming, would need an expert from the heretical king's court. But the heretical king's court has its own rivals. Spirit-severing stage experts can't easily leave, especially with the heretical king in seclusion. In the end, the Qin Kingdom is just a slightly more concentrated area. The king's court doesn't prioritize it. If it weren't concentrated, the Qin Kingdom's strength wouldn't be what it is. Seeing Wang Tu hesitate, the Ziyu Dharma Protector continued his tempting offer. With our combined strength, even if he has life-saving treasures, we still have a chance to kill him. Sect leader Duo Zhu was his younger brother. Because of the Chu clan. His voice filled with hatred. Wang Tu coldly replied, and have our own men die with him. This man was too audacious. Upon their first meeting, he wanted to drag the heretical sect, including Wang Tu and the vice leader, into a suicidal fight against his enemy. Simply because he wanted revenge for his younger brother. Had even come prepared, with a batch of demonic smoke. Even if it can't kill Chu Tianming, ITLL still won't him. Wang Tu wouldn't indulge him. If Xu Cheng and Zhu Yan don't return in a day, well, abandon this place. He worried that if Black Moon Tower discovered their location, Chu Tianming, in his current rage, might actually pay a high price for this information. If Chu Tianming attacks, who knows how many of us will survive? He was almost certain Chu Tianming would target him first. He was definitely the most in danger. Elder Zhu Cheng is back. Speak of the devil. Wine Tuesday. Why are you alone? Where's Zhu Yan? What's the situation at the Chu clan? Wang Tu frowned. Deep inside, Zhu Cheng was in turmoil, struggling against the will controlling him. Sect leader, we've discovered crucial information. I must ask you to decide. To prevent any mishaps, Zhu Yan is waiting outside the Chu clan's front gate. What information? Wait, Zhu Yan is at the front gate. With his face. He could light up the night. Clearly, Wang Tu had no suspicions. Zhu Cheng glanced at the vice leader. His expression faltering. I also asked the leader to make a decision. In order to prevent changes, Zhu Xian looked for the future of the Chu family. What is wrong? Zhu Xian's future. His face can be turned around at night. Obviously, the king's disciple has no doubts. Zhu Cheng glanced at the deputy leader. The temple was a little late. The vice leader seems to have noticed something's off. Damn it. He's going to discover my secret. Something does seem off. The vice leader patted Zhu Cheng's shoulder. Your subordinate, this elder Zhu Cheng, definitely has something up his sleeve. Look at how strained his face is. Tell us the information quickly, and then go do your business. You've worked hard. Zhu Cheng's face darkened. Vice leader, you're too cunning. Damn it. The heretical sect is doomed with you around. Recently, the Chu clan. Zhu Cheng approached Wang Tu and the vice leader, whispering as he moved closer. How is it? Suddenly, a fierce gray light erupted. Zhu Cheng attacked. A full-powered strike. Wang Tu was caught completely off guard, half his body shattered. His spirit was severely damaged, instantly freezing him in place. Everyone was stunned by the sudden turn of events. Look. To execute such a swift and decisive attack, and then follow it up with such a beautiful counterattack, that's our protagonist, Zhu Xian. A homebody who gains system rewards and all sorts of divine skills just by staying home. Just now, Zhu Cheng, controlled by Zhu Xian's soul imprint, had unleashed a full-powered strike against the unsuspecting heretical sect leader Wang Tu, nearly killing him. He also shocked everyone present. Meanwhile, the other heretical sect members, also affected by the demonic smoke, could only stand there, paralyzed. What are you doing? The Ziyu Dharma Protector's burning desire for revenge was instantly extinguished. He thought he could discreetly avoid the chaos, but he immediately caught Zhu Cheng's attention. You shall die. Zhu Cheng charged. The Ziyu Dharma Protector couldn't dodge in time and was severely injured. But he wasn't finished yet. Zhu Cheng, completely unrestrained, roared, What heretical sect? What Dharma Protector? You can't withstand my power. What's gotten into you? You're going to ruin the heretical sect's branch. The Dharma protector, barely clinging to life, gritted his teeth. Xu Chang gave a sinister laugh and delivered a final, internationally friendly gesture. Sect leader. Who in the entire Qin kingdom's heretical sect can match me? I am the true sect leader. I am eternal. I am the only one worthy of being the Qin kingdom's heretical sect leader. The Dharma protector could only stare in disbelief. He couldn't fight back, so he used his last breath to shout towards the elders outside. Xu Chang has gone mad. Quick! Kill him. As his voice fell, several figures rushed in. Dharma protector. We're here. The elder leading the group was Xu Chang's master, naturally appealing to his emotions. He recounted how he had changed Xu Chang's diapers, and how he had guided him through his first sexual experience. Now, facing such betrayal, he could no longer hold back, regardless of their past relationship. The other 7 elders couldn't stand it anymore, advising him not to waste his breath on a condemned man. He finally made up his mind and prepared to unleash his ultimate array, to obliterate this unruly disciple. But before he could activate it, a golden light shot from Xu Chang's fingertip, straight towards the old man. The old man's face paled. Damn! So much nonsense. Still can't withstand a single blow. I've had enough of your twisted teachings. Finally, some peace and quiet. Xu Chang watched his former master collapse with a smug look. The terrified heretical sect members were now utterly petrified. There's no hope. Run. He was desperate now, using the forbidden Yang Beast technique to forcefully increase his cultivation. This resulted in an unstable, explosive power that was too dangerous to confront directly. Retreat. I have to move again. Trouble always finds me at home. Meanwhile, Xu Xin, staying home, received a 10-year cultivation boost from the system for his counterattack against the blood condensation stage cultivator. After stretching languidly, Xu Xin marveled at Xu Chang's power. Had actually done it. But his joy was quickly replaced by a thought. Ever since breaking through to Spirit Severing Stage 1, his cultivation progress had slowed. At this rate, even after another year of staying home, had probably only reached Spirit Severing Stage 2. He still felt insecure. It wouldn't be enough to deal with the heretical king's court experts. However, if cultivation wasn't enough, he could rely on pills. How could Xu Xian, who'd become the Qin kingdom's strongest man through pills, forget the crates upon crates of pills in his storage? All system rewards. Ha ha. They're like meals. He patted his full belly, letting out a satisfied burp. Suddenly, oh no. Xu Xian furrowed his brow. It seemed trouble had come knocking again. He quickly ran to a corner of the courtyard, burying himself in the ground. Suddenly, a tremor. What? Is there some kind of conflict happening? A puzzled Xu Xian pondered. Another tremor. Damn it. It never ends. Guess you can't overdo anything. Once again burying himself, Xu Xian decided to get some proper sleep. It was best to stay home peacefully. After all, he was now at a similar level to Chu Tianming, one of the Qin kingdom's top experts. Meanwhile, Xu Xian, lying down, felt a bit bored. I wish a few more heretical sect members would come, preferably from the heretical sect's army. Free food and lodging provided. He, you're all quite polite, exchanging pleasantries just for the Chu clan. Having Wan Changue personally welcome us is quite an honor. Honor my ass. The Chu clan is in trouble. You know. If it weren't for the information you sold, I'd rip your head off. Calm down, calm down. Wan Changue, you messaged me saying you had crucial information regarding the Chu clan. Chu Tianming knew that further investigation would be futile, so he sat down and sighed. Let's skip the pleasantries and get down to business. Chu Tianming abruptly opened his eyes. No problem. Wan Changue laughed, praising Chu Tianming's directness. Chu Tianming slowly lifted his teacup as Wan Changue began. 1,000,000 taels of silver. Chu Tianming spat out his tea. Are you crazy? Why don't you just rob me? A furious Chu Tianming stood up abruptly. Wan Changue, though, had seen it all before, calmly urged Chu Tianming to listen to half first. If he thought it was worth it, then he could pay. It was a common tactic. There was no harm in listening. Demonic smoke, clan leader Chu, do you know Hearing these two words, Chu Tianming gritted his teeth. He knew the power of demonic smoke all too well. He offered tails of silver, urging Wan Changgui to continue. Go on, Chu Tianming urged. Wan Chang explained that he'd heard a heretic punisher had recently arrived from the Purple Moon Kingdom. That's it? Chu Tianming asked, unimpressed. An awkward silence followed. One urged the other to continue, while the other insisted on payment first. Finally, after receiving a hefty, gold coins from Chu Tianming, Wan Chang revealed the full story. The heretic punisher had supposedly brought Mo Yen from the Purple Moon Kingdom, and the Chu clan's branch house was their target. He looked so smug, certain of his valuable intel. Little did he know, Chu Tianming had already dealt with Mo Yen. Gold for outdated news. Chu Tianming felt cheated. Wan Chang, however, remained self-satisfied. But wait, there's more. Wan Chang declared, defending his exorbitant price. Two mere heretics wouldn't normally be a threat to the heavily guarded Chu clan. However, he continued, this time they have two void armor vests. Chu Tianming's confidence wavered. He questioned the intel's validity, but Wan Chang insisted, promising triple compensation and a countermeasure against the armor if proven wrong. He even offered to sell Chu Tianming an artifact to counter the armor. Chu Tianming suspected he was being played, but maintained a calm facade. He warned Wan Chang that if the void armor vests were from Black Moon Tower, there would be hell to pay. With that threat delivered, Chu Tianming ended the pleasant transaction. On his way back, he couldn't shake the feeling of being swindled. How convenient that Wan Chang happened to have a countermeasure. The man was clearly playing both sides. Too late to turn back now. He'll deal with that weasel later. He won't outsmart me, Chu Tianming grumbled. Meanwhile, Chu Yun, Chu Tianming's granddaughter, rushed to Chu Xian, the 13th young master of the Chu clan. She relayed the news about the heretics and the million gold intel. Seeing Chu Xian playing with Tianming Bird, Chu Yun couldn't bring herself to reveal his true strength, lest she frighten him. She simply mentioned increased security around the courtyard. I've seen Void Realm elders patrolling lately, Chu Xian remarked. Perhaps I should conceal my aura better, so the head butler doesn't discover my true cultivation. Void Realm elders. And countermeasures to void armor. Chu Xian pondered. Could it be the void armor vests? No wonder they're increasing security. Chu Yun interrupted his thoughts. 13th brother, come back with me. I'll plead with grandpa. Chu Xian refused. He preferred his quiet courtyard. It's dangerous here with the heretics. This place is too far from the main house, Chu Yun argued. The Black Moon Tower master assured me it's safe, Chu Xian retorted. Chu Yun tried a different tactic, her voice soft and pleading. Any other man would have caved, but Chu Xian was no ordinary man. He started imagining heretic attacks, explosions, and utter chaos. What attack? The heretic branch was decimated. They posed no threat, he dismissed her concerns. Seeing his silence, Chu Yun mistook it for agreement and continued, I heard only one heretic came with Mo Yen. Chu Xian couldn't contain himself any longer. Mo Yen arrived today. And the head butler is involved. That Black Moon Tower should be renamed Black Heart Swindle. Had it not been for the Chu clan's walls, his courtyard would be in ruins. Chu Yun, seeing his outburst, sat down beside him. I give up. I'm staying here with you. Chu Xian sighed. Yuner, it's not appropriate. Go back to the main house. It'll be fine, but what if the heretics attack while the elders are away? Chu Yun persisted. Chu Xian finally relented. Alright, I'll protect you. Chu Yun smiled triumphantly. I just hope you stay safe and don't get involved. You're no match for heretic experts. Chu Xian rolled his eyes. Don't worry, I know my limits. Back at the Chu clan, Chu Tianming discussed the heretic threat with the elders. Our defense is too passive. We need to be more aggressive, he declared. An elder voiced concern about Chu Xian's safety. Chu Tianming lowered his voice. I've sent Chu Yun to retrieve him. If he returns, give him a cold shoulder. If not, well, it was his choice. Meanwhile, Chu Yun had stubbornly moved into Chu Xian's courtyard. Good morning, Yuner, Chu Xian greeted her. I must cultivate, even with the heretic threat, Chu Yun replied, hiding her true cultivation level. Chu Xian casually handed her a book. Train according to this, he instructed. To Chu Yun's surprise, it was the Earthly Veins Golden Scripture, an Earth Realm Cultivation Manual. How did you get this? She asked. My father left it here, Chu Xian lied smoothly. Chu Yun accepted the explanation without question. Back at the Chu clan gates, two elders paced nervously. 3 days. Still no sign of the heretics. Could it be the clan leader? One wondered. Their chatter was interrupted by Chu Tianming's sudden appearance. Idiots. Use voice transmission. He scolded. But what if it's urgent? One retorted. Furious, Chu Tianming continued his rant about the false intel and the wasted money. Show yourselves, heretics. He roared. Elders, prepare for battle. At Black Moon Tower, Wan Chang received shocking news. The heretic branch, along with the Purple Moon Kingdom's Punisher, had been annihilated, all thanks to Chu Xian. Apparently, Chu Xian, in a fit of rage, had single-handedly destroyed them. The Punisher was barely alive. Wan Chang's face darkened. Should we compensate the Chu clan? His subordinate asked nervously. Wan Chang let out a sinister laugh. Compensation. No. This is just a minor setback. He reassured his worried subordinate, shifting the blame to protect their reputation and their jobs. Wan Chang's subordinate, relieved, then confessed his fears about the rumored layoffs at Black Moon Tower headquarters. Wan Chang used this fear to ensure his subordinate's loyalty, reminding him that a ruined reputation could cost him his job. Trapped, the subordinate agreed to go along with Wan Chang's plan. Wan Chang smiled. He had his scapegoat. What should we do? Easy. The solution lies with both of us. Me. Xiao Hua pointed to himself, a little hesitantly. Exactly. Although our intel was faulty this time, if we use even better intel to negotiate with Patriarch Chu, not only will we avoid compensation, but will also regain our reputation. Lu Zhu spoke seriously, patting Xiao Hua's shoulder. The demonic cult is dangerous, but I still need you to go there again. The sooner, the better. Looking into Lu Zhu's trusting eyes, Xiao Hua nodded resolutely. Meanwhile, Chu Xian was staring blankly into the evening sky. That old hothead, Chu Tianming, should soon find out about the demonic cult's attack. Black Moon Tower will likely make a move too. I've already reached the peak of the harmonization realm and will soon break through to the third level of the profound realm. It won't be easy for that demonic cult brat to invade. If I can get a hold of Black, I could handle everything. Unfortunately, I don't have the chance yet. Lost in thought, a servant brought in his meal. Young master, today's meal. Chu Xian noticed the servant seemed different, their eyes darting nervously. It'll pass. Chu Xian felt a chill. Something's not right. Besides the demonic cult and Black Moon Tower, what else is going on? Inside the police station, what kind of news could make a usually calm 70-year-old man so excited? Chu Tianming, the head of the Chu family, one of the 3 great families of the Qin kingdom, had just been fretting over the impending demonic cult invasion. Now, a subordinate rushed in. Patriarch. New Chu Tianming cut him off. What's the rush? Did the demonic cult attack? Turning sharply, he saw it was Hua Ji. Oh, it's you, Ji. No, this is good news. Great news. The subordinate, realizing had caused a misunderstanding, hurriedly explained. What? Did you find something? The old man's worried heart eased slightly. Patriarch, the demonic cult's branch in our territory, exploded. The young man's eyes were wide with disbelief as he spoke. Exploded. Chu Tianming repeated in astonishment. Yes. Not a single wall remains standing, debris everywhere, blood staining the ground. Yes. Stop being so dramatic. Get to the point. Xiao Hua interrupted impatiently. This time, we not only found traces of Mo Yan Shifanggu but also evidence of the demonic cult leader himself. The demonic cult must have encountered a powerful enemy and retreated after suffering heavy losses. To defeat the demonic cult branch and, to describe Chu Tianming's current state, a certain song comes to mind. So many questions. This means this person must have extremely high cultivation. And now we don't have to worry about Mo Yan Shifanggu. Xiao Hua, finally able to speak his mind, was ecstatic. Hearing this news, Xiao Hua's first reaction was naturally the same as Chu Tianming's. Astonishment and relief. But the old man snorted and then grumbled suspiciously, Black Moon Tower. Blackheart Moon Tower. Blackheart bastards. Let's see how you deal with this. He took a breath and turned, inviting Xiao Hua to join him in visiting Black Moon Tower. He wanted to see how the tower master would handle the triple compensation. Elsewhere, Chu Xian was strolling in his courtyard, inadvertently wandering near Chu Yun's door. Sensing Chu Yun's imminent breakthrough, Chu Xian waited for her to emerge. How are you feeling, Yunmei? 13th brother. Lien invited the young man to move with him to the Black Moon Tower. He just wanted to see how the owner of the Wanlu Tower would change the triple compensation. On the other side, Jianinan Chu Xian was strolling down his yard when he accidentally wandered into Chu Yun. The reformer outside the door sensed that Chu Yun was about to break through and was looking at Chu Yun when he came out to secretly vent his anger. How do you feel, Sister Yun, 13th brother? Little courtyard is truly a blessed place. My cultivation has improved so much faster here. Fearing Chu Yun might ask to stay longer, Chu Xian quickly added. If you're going to break through, it's better to return to the family. It's safer. I can't protect you here. Chu Yun, however, was thrilled that Chu Xian could sense her impending breakthrough. Almost there. Go back when you're ready. I don't have any cultivation, so I can't help. You should go back, it's important. Chu Xian feigned concern. Right. Don't let that old geezer Chu Tianming see the cultivation technique I gave you. Just thinking about him trying to trick me is annoying. Chu Yun was still focused on her breakthrough, oblivious. She had no idea that Chu Xian had been eavesdropping on her for almost a year. If someone offered you a way out after being confined for so long, would you take it? Our protagonist chose to refuse. The reason was simple. She was a homebody. And in this courtyard, she constantly received system rewards, which was better than cheating. Just then, after Chu Xian finally persuaded Chu Yuan, who had been living with him for almost a month, to help him break through, footsteps sounded outside the door. It was none other than Chu Tianming, the very person Chu Xian called Old Geezer. Just as Chu Xian wondered what the old man was doing there, Chu Tianming snapped, "You don't even greet your elders." Chu Xian retorted, "Why should I greet you? Do you think you deserve my respect?" Chu Yuan coughed awkwardly. It seems 13th brother still holds a grudge for being confined here just for breaking a vase. Chu Tianming flew into a rage. "You disrespectful brat." Seeing Chu Yun, however, he burst into laughter. "Yuner, you're about to break through. Grandpa knew it. It's all thanks to 13th brother's care these past few days." Needless to say, Chu Yun was Chu family's precious girl. "After Grandpa's gone, the Chu family will depend on you." "Grandpa, you're exaggerating. There are several older brothers ahead of me. I'm sure they'll support the family, not me." "Ha ha. The others are alright, but if they were all like your 13th brother, the Chu family would be doomed. If Chiu Ruo knew how you are now, he'd regret being your father." Hearing these words, Chu Xian almost lost his composure. Damn it. He regretted his outburst immediately, because even though it was just a faint ripple of harmonization realm chi, it didn't escape Chu Tianming's senses. Harmonization realm. Chu Yun, of course, had no idea what had just happened. She simply smiled. What harmonization realm? Although it was just a weak ripple, that she definitely belonged to a harmonization realm cultivator. Chu Tianming was instantly excited. His joy was short-lived, however, as Xiaohua retorted, "How's that possible? The only harmonization realm cultivator in the Qin kingdom besides you." Is before Xiaohua could finish, Chu Tianming waved his hand dismissively. Forget it, forget it. It must be my mistake. I haven't seen a harmonization realm expert in years. It's understandable that I'm mistaken." He turned to Xiaohua. "I know what you want to say about the expert who defeated the demonic cult. But this isn't something we should discuss in front of Yuner. We'll talk later." He then invited Chu Yun to accompany him on another trip, to which she readily agreed, as she needed her grandfather's protection during her breakthrough. "As for you, you little rascal, you're fined 50 lashes. Go back to the family estate." Despite being offered a way out, Chu Xian refused. "I'm fine here. Don't bother me." Chu Tianming snorted and turned to leave. Chu Yun quickly urged him, 13th brother, Grandpa is giving you a way out." Chu Xian remained unmoved. "I'm not going." Unfortunately, blood ties bound him. Chu Tianming still worried about his grandson. "My subordinates haven't found him yet. Keep an eye on him. He might come to his senses eventually. But I can't let Chiu Ruo's line end." This old man was fuming. He was headed to Black Moon Tower. Not long ago, he had spent $1 million there on false intelligence. "Brother 1, Black Moon Tower's information has made me suspicious for the first time." Chu Tianming spoke condescendingly, getting straight to the point. The man with the bun was Wan Chang, the Black Moon Tower Master. The information is accurate. There was simply an unforeseen incident with the demonic cult. How could the information be wrong? What are those demonic cult bastards doing? Chu Tianming, scammed out of $1 million, was furious. Now, he wanted Blackheart. Wan Chang to cough up not only the $1 million but also triple compensation. Brother Wan, Black Moon Tower is known for its accurate intelligence. Regarding this loss, Wan Chang knew compensation was a small matter compared to the damage to Black Moon Tower's reputation. He quickly offered another solution. Patriarch Chu, I have another piece of crucial information regarding the demonic cult. 1 million taels. Not too expensive, right? $1 million is a hefty sum. The demonic cult again. It seemed Wan Chang was determined to fleece him. Wan Chang smiled awkwardly. Tell you what, if there's any movement from the Xiaowan Pavilion towards the Qin Kingdom or the Chu clan, inform Brother Chu immediately. No delays. What, you scoundrel? If it weren't for your blunder this time, if there were any unusual activity from the evil king, were you planning to delay informing me again? Chu Tianming revealed his hidden trump card, questioning Wan Chang loudly. What else could Wan Chang do? Continuing wouldn't be polite, but rather foolish. Laugh it off, of course. How could it be, Brother Chu? Our Black Moon Pavilion has always prioritized sincerity. Just from his expression, I knew what he was thinking. I trust you, my foot. You sly old fox are up to no good. But I still want to hear it. The evil cult's first vice leader, along with 2 deputy leaders, have already arrived at Chu territory. Wan Chang probably, like everyone else, saw through Chu Tianming's thoughts. Proudly, he stated what he believed was worth $1 million. Brother Chu, this information, it's worth $1 million, right? Chu Tianming's brows furrowed upon hearing this. The first vice leader is at the peak of Void Spirit Realm, 8th level. The deputy leaders are also at the 7th level. If they launch a surprise attack, the consequences are unpredictable. Then, what's their specific plan? Wan Chang smiled faintly, a cunning glint in his eyes. This was another piece of information Chu Tianming wouldn't easily give up. Similarly invasive, this information alone is worth more than $1 million. Black Moon Pavilion's intel is indeed fast, but I can guarantee that within a day, our Chu clan would also receive news of their arrival. So, stop keeping me in suspense. I've already made a concession. Seeing Chu Tianming's insistence, Wan Chang stopped beating around the bush. Here is a detailed map. This is their current hideout. Thank you, Brother Wan. I'll take my leave. Chu Tianming, satisfied, waved his hand and turned to leave. Now that he knew their location, he would strike first and catch them off guard. Chu Tianming and his group headed aggressively towards the Black Moon Pavilion, ostensibly to seek an explanation. After a verbal sparring session, they left, because he planned a surprise attack on the evil cult members near Chu territory. In a secluded pavilion less than 100 miles from the Chu clan estate, Zhang Hui, the first vice leader of the Qin Kingdom's evil cult, was deep in thought, eyes closed. What's going on in Portugal? They were actually overturned by the Koreans. This man, who looked like Hiero with 2 dark circles under his eyes, was Dong Qian, a member of the Chu army. He whispered, Leader, the situation at the stronghold suddenly changed. We don't know the reason, but we suspect it's related to Ziyu Kingdom's involvement. But we don't understand their purpose. Zhang Hui, snapping back to reality, thought of another issue. It was the deaths. Who killed them? Dong Qian's reply was, I don't know. He hadn't paid much attention to a minor elder like Xu Yan. This time, their evil cult suffered heavy losses. It's all because of the Chu clan. 1/5 of the Qin Kingdom's evil cult forces were lost. Chu clan, how did they discover our infiltrators? I still don't know. Maybe it was intel from the Black Moon Pavilion. Zhang Hui didn't agree with this speculation. The Black Moon Pavilion wasn't omnipotent. Moreover, given their style, they wouldn't easily sell information that could destroy another party, for the sake of greater profit. He then patted Dong Qian's shoulder, instructing him to gather everyone and prepare to raid the Chu clan estate with him that night. Dong Qian, however, was worried about the Chu clan's numerous experts. What if? Zhang Hui reassured him, Chu Tianming, that old ghost, has left Chu territory. Raiding the Chu clan will be no problem. Since we dare to go, I naturally have a plan to retreat safely. He then waved his hand, giving Dong Qian a purple glass bead. Tonight, use this to raid the Chu clan. Dong Qian, being experienced, recognized the bead at a glance. It was the life-saving spiritual shield bead. Indeed, even if attacked by a Chu clan elder, as long as it's not an instant kill, you can shield yourself. It was that powerful. Zhang Hui sneered, as long as they can't keep us, after raiding the Chu clan and retreating safely, we can put immense pressure on the Chu clan. Look, someone's trying to bully that good-for-nothing young master again. On a dark and windy night, young Master Chu Xian couldn't sleep due to his restless body. Similarly sleepless were the two guards outside the door. Our target is the Chu clan estate. Zi Yang and Guyang Jinru can handle it. The speaker was Zhang Hui, the first vice leader of the Qin Kingdom's evil cult. He was confident in his plan, assuming that Chu Tianming, the only threat to him, was still haggling for information at the Black Moon Pavilion. Zi's first step has landed. One fool, another fool. Ha 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 ha. Arriving with Zhang Hui was Dong Qian, who was also listening. That sly old fox is really bad. You're so strong yourself, you say you're not afraid. Many of us aren't as capable as you. It's better to be cautious. Soon, the two arrived outside the Chu Academy. This should be where Chu Qingyuan's son lives, right? It should be. His son suddenly became a bit arrogant recently. Anyway, he's Chu Qingyuan's son. Control him, and maybe we can gain an unexpected advantage. You mean to use him as a hostage? Two options. First, control Chu Qingyuan's son, prevent his breakthrough, and make him return to the Chu estate as a bargaining chip. He paused for effect. Zhang Hui continued, second, recruit him into our cult, teach him our secret techniques, and turn him into our assassin. Chu Qingyuan's son cultivates light attribute techniques. Driven by his cultivation, he might greatly improve his assassination skills. I want to see how the Chu clan will react. Based on the principle of adding fuel to the fire, Zhang Hui felt delighted just thinking about it. Moreover, if Chu Qingyuan's son is in the main family when Chu Qingyuan returns, we can use his son against him. Let's see if he dares to kill his own son. Ha 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 ha. After explaining his plan, Zhang Hui couldn't help but chuckle. However, what if Chu Qingyuan isn't dead and sees his son join the evil cult? What should we do then? Dong Qian voiced his concern. Afraid of what? At worst, can he kill his own son? If he does, we'll expose his son's betrayal, the Chu clan's reputation for righteousness. But what about that old monster, Chu Tianming? What if Chu Qingyuan shows no weakness? Increasingly satisfied with his seemingly flawless plan, Zhang Hui put on a profound expression. Dong Qian, after some thought, also agreed. Brilliant, master. Let's capture Chu Qingyuan's son. I want to take him from the Chu family's estate right in front of that old monster and make him watch his son die. A helpless sigh came from the academy. Are you guys idiots? Do people in the evil cult all have brain problems? Why do you always target me before doing anything? You do your thing, I won't leave this courtyard, nor will I stop you. But if you're looking for death, don't blame me. He silently released a soul mark. Recalling the previous soul mark incident where a minor elder single-handedly crippled an entire Chu army detachment, looking at this Void Spirit Realm 9th level expert, Chu Xian couldn't help but feel a little excited. Zhang Hui and Dong Qian outside had no idea what kind of terrifying existence they were about to face. They still looked confident. With a ruthless expression. Attack! Zhang Hui commanded, and Dong Qian immediately unleashed a seemingly powerful technique. It looked impressive, but... oh no! Zhang Hui's pupils instantly dilated, his expression changing drastically. The technique wasn't his. It was a mechanism Chu Xian had prepared. Zhang Hui instinctively wanted to kneel. No, even if I kneel, I must do it gracefully. I can't let Dong Qian see my weakness. This pressure is definitely from a Harmony Realm expert. There's a Harmony Realm expert in the Chu clan. Who is it? Zhang Hui felt his mind becoming hazy, his consciousness fading. Even the shield bead wouldn't be able to protect him. At this moment, a handsome face appeared before him. Chu, are you a Harmony Realm expert? In just a glance, before Chu Xian could finish his sentence, Zhang Hui directly knelt down. Dong Qian watched from the side. Say something. Say something. But instead of a response from Zhang Hui, he heard a thud. Impossible. I didn't even see what it was. Dong Qian was then hit by an invincible mighty kick. Big shots talk, small fries listen. It's not your turn to speak. When Xu Xian looked over, Dong Qian was already foaming at the mouth, his body twitching. Are the positions in your evil cult bought? Why do you always target me? Just because my dad is Chu Chilua. Xu Xian felt a bit curious about his seemingly troublesome father. What kind of amazing person was he to make the evil cult's first vice leader and a deputy leader target him repeatedly? My name is Chu Xian, the good-for-nothing young master in everyone's eyes. Just now, 2 founders of the evil cult broke into my courtyard, intending to recruit me. Because they underestimated Chu Chilua, the Qin Kingdom's rarest weapon refining talent in a century. But they didn't expect, like father, like son. Chu Qingyuan's son isn't a pushover. Just the pressure from his realm made the two kneel. In a battle between experts, excessive flourishes are unnecessary. Noticing that his subordinate was already paralyzed by the mechanism, unable to move, Xu Xian was very curious about the old man's identity. A Void Spirit Realm 9th level expert must be a big shot in the evil cult. If he killed him, they would definitely send even stronger experts. It wasn't fear, just a dislike for trouble. The old man didn't seem to mind, either. Thinking that this person's silly cat was so strong, wouldn't the owner be even more formidable? Zheng Hui, unable to fight back, revealed his identity. I am the first vice leader of the Qin Kingdom's evil cult. Not a small fry, am I? As long as he controlled him, he could stop the evil cult from harassing him, and even know their plans in advance. Don't worry, Zheng Hui. I, Xu Xian, wouldn't even hurt a chicken, let alone kill you. Why did this sound so familiar? Right, his father had said something similar before killing dozens of cultists in the blink of an eye. It seemed that people who said such things weren't kind. Dong Qian, who was playing dead, couldn't hold back anymore. The first vice leader is valuable, it's a waste to kill him. So he was going to kill him instead. Young Master Chu, I'm a deputy leader of the Chu army. I'm valuable too. Alright, no need to argue. I'll give both of you 2 soul marks. The first order after receiving the mark was to tell Zheng Hui to stop the cult from constantly disturbing Xu Xian. Zheng Hui immediately stated that he would restrain his followers. Whoever disobeys will be killed. After inquiring about the Black Moon Tower's background, according to Zhang Kuei, the Black Moon Tower likely only possesses intelligence-gathering artifacts. Otherwise, they wouldn't even know about their basic movements. Moreover, the strongest person in the Qin Kingdom is not the Qin Emperor, but a mysterious expert affiliated with the Black Moon Tower. This Black Moon Tower is indeed interesting. Wait, this aura is Chu Tianming. So, ever since Wan Shang told Chu Tianming that the cult's first vice leader was heading to Chu County with 2 subordinates, Chu Tianming hadn't rested for 3 days. Searching tirelessly according to the map, he hadn't even had time to change out of his cult clothing. So, he visited Wan Chang again to demand an explanation. Wan Chang, what's going on? Your intel is wrong again. This time, you must return the spirit stones. A furious Chu Tianming unleashed a barrage of complaints. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Brother Chu, you must understand, Zhang Kuei is a living person. When you arrived, he might have just left. Any intelligence has a certain time validity. It's impossible to be absolutely accurate. Wan Shang maintained a composed demeanor. Chu Tianming suspected that the unscrupulous Black Moon Tower had sold the information about his plan to assassinate the cult's vice leader to the cult. Wan Shang explained that he was very professional and that a buyer's information could only be sold after hours. Furthermore, Zhang Hui suddenly left, and his hiding place was near the Chu family's territory. Haven't you considered where he might go? Reminded by Wan Shang, Chu Tianming felt like a ball being kicked around, but I have to consider the possibility. Could he have gone to our Chu family? If the information is wrong again this time, Wan bro, you'll have to give me an explanation. Don't worry, how could the intel be wrong? Our Black Moon Tower has always been reliable, never false, never deceiving. Watching Chu Tianming leave, Wan Shang didn't forget to advertise. The first stop when entering or leaving the Chu family's territory is Chu Xian's courtyard. Sensing Chu Tianming approaching, Zhang Hui and Dong Qian naturally didn't stay long. After providing them with reverse travel services, they quickly left. Chu Xian finally breathed a sigh of relief. He could have some peace for a while, no longer harassed by the cult. Just as he was about to take a nap, the system notified him, for subduing a cult leader without leaving your house, reward 10 years of cultivation and the heavenly eyes. This is the legendary heavenly eyes, capable of killing enemies with a glance. Also, his realm directly broke through to Gold Core Stage 8. I hope more such strong opponents come. Just because you're in a good mood and recognize the value of being a homebody, it'll give you a divine artifact system. Do you want it? This transmigrated homebody, Xu Xian, possessed such a system. Just now, Xu Tianming, having searched fruitlessly again, angrily returned to the Black Moon Tower to demand an explanation, as the information provided by Wan Chang was wrong again. Wan Chang stammered, "Do you think I'm easy to bully? Or do you want to throw the Black Moon Tower's reputation into the gutter?" Xu Tianming looked like he wanted to swallow Wan Chang alive. Wan Chang, who thought he was being thanked for providing information, was dumbfounded. Xu Tianming didn't care if he was dumbfounded or not. "I paid you 1 million, and both times the information was wrong. Last night, the elders searched all night. But there was no sign of Zheng Kuwei." Wan Chang still couldn't believe his ears, reiterating the enormous benefits of cooperation. Xu Tianming wasn't buying it. "I didn't find Zheng Kuwei at the location you provided, nor did I find him leaving the Chu family's territory. I'm certain, I checked personally." Enough nonsense. Wan Chang, the information was wrong. Shouldn't the spirit stones be returned? Xu Tianming's patience wore thin. "You're being unreasonable." Wan Chang was unwilling to return the money. "Wait a moment, I'll go and inquire." He then turned around and asked his subordinates, "How did Zheng Hui return? Wasn't he supposed to leave through the Chu family's territory? Could he have teleported?" "Unlikely." "Where is Zheng Hui now?" The answer he received was quite enlightening. "I don't know." Wan Chang couldn't lose face in front of a client. "You tell me you don't know." Mistakes again and again. "Do you still want to be the outstanding employee? You always use that to threaten me, but I really don't know." Zheng Hui was clearly heading towards the Chu family territory last night, but there's no trace of him now. It's like he vanished into thin air. "Then go, and send people to investigate for me. Find out his whereabouts as soon as possible." After instructing his subordinates, Wan Chang felt suspicious. Why wouldn't Zheng Hui dare to intrude on the Chu family's territory? For now, he had to appease Xu Tianming. He couldn't afford to cause trouble, otherwise, how could he get his year-end bonus? "Brother Chu, please calm down. I've already dispatched people to investigate Zheng Hui's movements." Xu Tianming knew there was no point in antagonizing the Black Moon Tower over this matter. Wan Chang, given the Black Moon Tower's repeated slow intelligence, I was able to catch and kill him in time. How do you explain this? Seeing Xu Tianming offering an out, Wan Chang quickly seized it. Zheng Hui is dead. The Chu family has commissioned the Black Moon Tower to help eliminate him. The Black Moon Tower will naturally assist the Chu family in removing him. It's a pity that I was too slow. Zheng Hui isn't weak and possesses a shield artifact. It's difficult to kill him. Wan Chang. That's not entirely true. I know the shield artifact very well. It only needs to be activated once, after which he's vulnerable. Killing him isn't difficult. Then I'll wait for your news. Xu Tianming cursed inwardly, knowing Chu Ziyu was behind this. Meanwhile, Xu Xin, staying at home, received a system notification. Due to your small action, the Black Moon Tower experienced an intelligence failure. Reward: Divine Repair Technique. You're kidding me. Making the Black Moon Tower fail. These past 2 days have been all about Zheng Hui. Let the farce continue. Was this related to them? Xu Xian didn't care. He had provided them with the reverse travel service to test the Black Moon Tower. It seemed the Black Moon Tower wasn't as formidable. As the legends said, they couldn't uncover all information. However, the rewards were pretty good. Divine Repair Technique, a powerful secret technique for repairing damaged souls. Particularly those with severe soul injuries. It's a rare secret technique. And True Speech, another secret technique of the same level, could make people speak the truth. It's a power similar to words manifesting into reality, a secret technique directly related to the Great Tao. Two secret techniques at once. Staying home can be quite productive and enjoyable. Just after leveling up, the system notification sounded again. Because you're happy and have realized the meaning of staying home, reward. 7-colored divine light. Damn, another big one. This is the legendary 7-colored divine light. Legend says it can defend against any attack, whether physical or spiritual. This is practically invincibility. Now I can cultivate in peace. Can you believe this man castrated himself to cultivate a powerful technique, later joined the Blood Demon Palace, and restored his manhood, but was rejected by his beloved because the original was better? This man is Chu Xian in his previous life, the tragic protagonist of the evil king's court. Following the principle of know thy enemy, Chu Xian made time to read this historical clickbait. It turned out that the evil king, in his youth, castrated himself to cultivate a powerful technique, only to discover later that his enemy had a stronger technique that didn't require castration and also married the woman he loved. This was unforgivable. The evil king's heart became unbalanced, he went mad and twisted. In the end, he massacred millions just to restore his manhood, and the blood demon technique that has been passed down is the creation of this evil king. Finally, with this powerful demonic technique, he successfully restored his manhood, killed his enemy, and captured the woman he once loved. However, the woman coldly rejected him, saying that compared to her previous partner, he was too soft and boring. The evil king went berserk on the spot and died. What a tragic story. This evil king was truly pitiful. Just as he was engrossed in his reading, the butler relayed Chu Tianming's order for the 13th young master to return to the ancestral home. What was that old man up to? Why suddenly ask him to return to the ancestral home? Could it be that the old man went to Wanchang again to inquire about Zhang Kuei's whereabouts? I've sent them on a wild goose chase. Wanchang can only answer with a bewildered expression and say he doesn't know. After all, my reverse travel service isn't a joke. Since even the Black Moon Tower can't determine the cult's whereabouts, the old man is probably still worried about me, this useless young master. After all, I'm still the Chu family's biological son. I want go back, I'm living well here. Chu Xian certainly didn't want to go back. He had been hiding for almost a year. Going back now would break his record. The butler thought Chu Xian was worried about being punished after returning. Don't worry, 13th young master. The Patriarch said he won't hold your past mistakes against you. You can return to the ancestral home. I said I'm not going back. It's more comfortable here. Chu Xian continued to resist. He didn't believe they could force him back. All right. The butler was speechless and could only report back to the Patriarch. As soon as the butler left, the system notification sounded. For refusing to return to the ancestral home and choosing to continue hiding, reward. Truth-seeking mirror. Chu Xian was ecstatic. It was his favorite system, randomly rewarding him. One must know that the truth-seeking mirror can reveal all illusions, while true speech allows one to grasp the true meaning of things. Requiring immense talent and a compatible physique, this type of item detection can help one comprehend objects. The true meaning of heaven and earth breaks through the tranquility of the true realm. Chu Xian unceremoniously stored the reward. After all, he had already consolidated 8 levels. What level will I reach after the 9th level? The true realm is within sight. With the item True T, I can perceive the true meaning of heaven and earth in advance, significantly shortening the breakthrough time. What are we waiting for? Let's brew a pot and have a taste. After one sip, why do I feel like my cultivation has improved quite a bit? Chu Xian furrowed his brows in serious contemplation, savoring the aftertaste. My heavens! I directly broke through to the 9th level of the harmonious realm. The true realm is just a step away. Look, the man pouring the liquid wasn't handling ordinary tea, but a cup of item essence capable of directly boosting one's realm. The young girl only took a small sip before her eyes widened, reaching the same level as Chu Xian. She exclaimed, amazing. The man, Chu Xian, had just received his reward for staying home for 10 months. A low-grade earthly weapon, the Mystic Flame Bell. This bell can contain the mystic flame within, capable of burning heaven and earth. Chu Xian was secretly celebrating, feeling smug. Another earthly weapon. This system is too generous. So far, even the worst reward has been a heavenly weapon, or even a divine law. My cultivation is also half a foot into the true realm. Maybe if I drink more of this tea, it'll directly break through to the true realm. Just then, a familiar voice came through the moon gate. Third uncle, I've reached the third level of the profound realm. I've truly lived up to your expectations. This girl, brimming with youthful vigor, was Chu Xian's niece, Xu Yun. Third uncle, you're not slacking off again, are you? Xu Yun, you have to cultivate diligently. This pace is too slow. Don't embarrass third uncle. Xu Xian felt awkward. Hey, isn't a leisurely life like this for 80 years good enough? Cultivating painstakingly every day is so boring. Xu Xian lifted his freshly brewed tea. Come, Xu Yun, try this tea. Xu Yun took the cup and drank it in one gulp. The next second, her eyes widened, feeling a surge of energy around her. Third uncle, this